1.5 seconds.
And he not only did that once, he did it twice in a mini camp this past May. And Albert Lewis probably put it as well as anybody else, the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. He said, they don't allow us to tackle Christian in practice because they want us to be healthy for the game.
Well, they didn't have much of a chance to practice with this guy before this past week because they had so many people injured. We'll get into that later on.
709 yards so far this season. He is averaging a little bit better than 101 yards per game over the first 7. The Steelers have won the coin toss. They have elected to receive to start the contest. And they've got their great return man back and at 100%. We saw the game, Paul, a couple of weeks ago in Cleveland where he was out with a dislocated left shoulder. He's wearing larger shoulder pads today to compensate so that he can accept some bigger hits. But that's Rod Woodson, an outstanding return man, both kickoffs and punts.
And those pads are about the same weight as the other pads, even though they're bigger, and they will not slow him down at all.
Nick Lowry gets the green light, and we're underway. The short one is out of bounds. Penalty flags into the air. And as you saw those last numbers, the Kansas City Chiefs have had a ton of problems with their special teams coverage. Second worst in the NFL, and illustrated last week when they gave up a 97-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to the Dallas Cowboys, and they also had a punt return called back because of a Cowboy penalty that would have been an 89-yard punt return for a touchdown.
I don't like it when the special teams, the kickoff teams, are afraid of a guy running a kickoff back, Rod Woodson, because when you do something like they just did here, Lowry kicks the ball out of bounds. The Steelers have the option of taking the ball at the 35-yard line, which is excellent field position.
Williams in the backfield with Hodge, Stone, and Lips, the wide receivers, along with the tight end Terry O'Shea. And when the Steelers go to their shotgun formation, they go to their extra wide receivers. They'll bring in the slot back Rodney Carter, their leading pass receiver so far this season, along with the rookie from Arizona, Derek Hill. Bubby Brister working with a knee brace on that left side. Hodge bangs it ahead. They have it 1st and 10 at the 35. It's a gain of about 4 near the 39-yard line. No mystery, Paul, as to what the Steelers want to do today. And as we look at the Kansas City Chiefs defensive unit, the Steelers want to run the ball against this defensive front 7. Griffin will get the start today for Mike Bell. Now, when they go to their dime package, bring in the extra defensive backs, they'll drop out their linebackers. Derek Thomas, the brilliant rookie, will go to a down lineman along with Dan Salamu, who enters the game, and the extra D-backs, Hill and Copeland, along with Cooper, joining the regular foursome in the secondary. Warren Williams, second-year man out of Miami, across the 40 to the 42, leveled by Walker Lee Ashley. Gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and short.
Well, you hit it on the head. We thought we had a chance to talk to both coaches and the offensive quarterbacks yesterday. And all they said was, we're going to run the football. There's no secret. We're going to run. They're going to run. And we're going to see who can stop who.
It's funny what Steve DeBerg said yesterday. This is going to be an old-fashioned football game. Forget about the finesse stuff. This is just going to be power football. I like it. 3rd and 3. The ball at the 42. The extra wide receiver is in there, and there goes the slot back in motion, Rodney Carter. Brister on his first pass attempt of the day. He finds his favorite target, Carter, for a first down to the 47. That is the 28th catch of the year. Rodney Carter, 2 more now than Lewis Lips.
Danny Copeland was there. This is our 3rd game watching the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, folks, if we don't know this team, I don't know what team we do know, but when they go into a passing situation, they throw the ball, or Brister, or Blackledge, whoever's been in there, to number 24 coming across the middle, who is Carter. And there are 2 defensive backs on him, and they still can't stop him. Hill and Copeland.
1st and 10. They put it to the 46. Big hole for Warren Williams into Kansas City territory for a gain of 5 to the 49-yard line of the Chiefs. Warren Williams going behind that line that loves to trap.
Well, you got Dawson, Reinstra, and, of course, Tunchokin, and they're going right up the middle. And we told you before, Deron Cherry, number 20, coming in making a tackle. We told you before, they're just going to go at each other. Pittsburgh lines up, and they tell you that they're going to run the ball. Kansas City with Christian Okoye, 262, they're going to run the ball.
2nd and 5. Ball to the 49-yard line. Merrill Hodge this time. He'll get the first down to the outside. He's inside the 40, down to the 39-yard line.
What happens on a play like this, Hodge breaks it to the outside, but when you're thinking inside running the whole time that Pittsburgh likes to do, and when you break outside, the problem was Derek Thomas, number 58, the linebacker, did not stay out there. You see Tonchilkin, he's blocking back on this side, but when the play goes back to the outside, 58 is, you see him right there chasing now, Hodge. He was the man, Derek Thomas, that did not seal the play off. Is he a good one?
A brilliant rookie. From Alabama, their first-round draft choice. He leads the Chiefs with 5.5 sacks. Also has forced a couple of fumbles. Brister on the play action on 1st and 10. Looking deep. Goes to the outside for Lewis Lips. And it's complete for another first down to the 24-yard line. They pulled it off in front of Albert Lewis.
They pulled it off in front of Albert Lewis. I was just watching that time. Dwight Stone was covered man-to-man by Derek Thomas, the linebacker. You see him at the top of the screen. Now here it is. Albert Lewis is turned towards the inside of the field. When Lips sees that, he just breaks it back to the outside. There's just no way that Albert Lewis can get to him. Completion, first down.
Lewis Lips running his streak of consecutive receptions now. Games with at least one catch to 33. That's Warren Williams on the carry. On the 1st and 10 give, it's good for about 2 yards down to the 23-yard line. Already, the Pittsburgh Steelers with more offensive output over the first 5 minutes of the game than they saw over the first 30 minutes of last week's game against the Houston Oilers.
Yeah, there comes Derek Thomas this time, Joel, number 58. Now, he waited on the outside, saw the play was run to the inside, and then and only then do you make that commitment inside. You do not let a guy get to your outside first.
Followed a gain of only a yard, bringing up 2nd and 9 at the 24. Stone and Lips lining up on the same side. This drive started all the way back at the 35-yard line. Square out, knocked away from Stone by Albert Lewis. J.C. Pearson over on that side. So Pearson getting the start today for the injured Kevin Ross, who's one of the 2 inactives, along with Irv Eatman for Kansas City.
J.C. Pearson played that play extremely well. He was there. If that ball would have been lower, he'd have been able to intercept it.
Pearson celebrating that Huskies victory yesterday over the UCLA Bruins by a point. That is college ball for Don James. 3rd down and 9. The ball at the 24-yard line. 9th play of the drive coming up. Brister out of the shotgun, and his receiver broke off the pattern. Dwight Stone. Breakdown in communications, and Brister hit as he released the ball.
Well, Pearson and Copeland, 24 and 25, the Kansas City Chiefs defensive backs were there. You want to know why he broke it off? He didn't break it off. Watch it. Bubby had no chance to throw the ball. Danny Copeland was right in his face. He just had to throw the ball away.
It'll be a field goal try coming up for Gary Anderson. We're watching 2 of the best place kickers in NFL history. It'll be a 42-yard attempt. 3 of 6 so far this season. Beyond the 40. It's on its way. Plenty of distance, and it's got the direction. The Steelers are on the board first. So they stall inside the 25, but they get 3 from Gary Anderson with 10:36 left in the first. These 2 coaches have gotten together in some classic AFC Central Division battles, and now Marty Schottenheimer over in the AFC West. His first year as the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. Chuck Noll in his 21st season. The head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of only 5 coaches in the NFL to coach 300 games.
You asked Marty yesterday to compare this team with Cleveland. He went down a roster and he kept saying better, better.
And he really likes his defensive unit. Gary Anderson kicking it away to Danny Copeland. And Todd McNair will take it to the goal line. McNair out to the 20-yard line. Well, the Chiefs will get it for the first time today offensively. That offensive line has Rich Baldinger getting his first start of the year as he's subbing for the injured Irv Eatman. Eatman out for about 2 to 3 weeks. Not a serious enough injury to put him on injured reserve where they'd lose him for 6 weeks. They're protecting Steve DeBerg. Okoye, the leading rusher in the NFL, joined by a herd. Manley, Page, the wide receivers, and Hayes, the tight end. When they go to their ace offense, which is 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers, Alfredo Roberts will enter the game. Okoye, the single set on 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. The Chiefs trailing by 3. Okoye bottled up right at the original line of scrimmage. Met first by the nose tackle, Gerald Williams. One thing Marty Schottenheimer really emphasized yesterday was they had to protect the ball. Utmost today was ball security because of the way the Steelers like to try to rip it away. Front 7 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Willis, Williams, and Jones gets the start for the injured Tim Johnson, who's out with a injured ankle. He may be able to see some activity later today. Hinkle, Little, Nickerson, and Lloyd, the linebackers. And when they go to their dime package, Lorenzo Freeman, the extra down lineman, the extra defensive backs, Griffin and Hall. We'll take a look at that secondary, the regular foursome. The defensive backfield for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sends Stephon Page in motion. Second and close to 10. Okoye, the 25-yard line for a gain of close to 5. That secondary for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Woodruff, Woodson, Lake, and Everett. A very young group with the exception of Dwayne Woodruff, who's in his 9th season. And a great rookie at the strong safety position out of UCLA in Carnell Lake.
One thing about Kansas City Chiefs this week, and we talked to Marty Schottenheimer yesterday talking about his team. He said we couldn't even practice on Monday. They only had 31 healthy players to practice. He had to cut each practice session short by 45 minutes. They couldn't practice. They didn't practice yesterday.
DeBerg working with 4 wide receivers out of the shotgun on 3rd and 5. DeBerg with plenty of time. Throws it away over the middle. Wanted Pete Manley. He was the closest. The late pressure came from Keith Willis. So 3 snaps and a punt on the first possession today for the Kansas City Chiefs. Miami getting on the board first at Buffalo. Tampa Bay trying to beat Cincinnati as the Bengals are trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Rod Woodson.
Talk about trouble with the special teams. Here's Kansas City on their first punt. Only have 10 players on the field. McNair finally comes on to go down in the coverage.
Kelly Goodburn, 44-yard average coming in. Has the best net punting average in the AFC. Gets into it. Sends out a beauty. A high spiral. Woodson will take it to the far side at the 34. The coverage breaking down, and there goes Woodson across the 45 with flags down in the play. He's hit down from behind at the 48-yard line. That was a 41-yard punt by Goodburn. And nice 12-yard return.
Nice run back. But they're going to bring it back. Holding on Pittsburgh.
They'll take it from the point of the infraction. So that'll really hurt the Pittsburgh Steelers.
To the hand, blocking the back. Number 43 on the receiving team. First down. Timeout.
That's Ray Wallace called for the penalty. The reserve running back. When we come back, Pittsburgh's got it back 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Indian summer in Pittsburgh, and it is an absolutely magnificent afternoon. Joel Meyers along with Paul Maguire. The Steelers lead by 3, and they've got it 1st and 10 at their own 25, and it's thrown over the middle for Lewis Lips. Check that. Derek Hill's got it. 82, not 83. Reception good for 17 yards, and it took a perfect pass from Bubby Brister.
J.C. Pearson had just tremendous coverage on the play, and Derek Hill makes a tremendous catch. Just take a look at the coverage and the pass pattern. Total concentration by both offensive and defensive men. Look at this coverage. That any good? Also hit ahead of schedule. It's not a penalty. You don't get caught.
Another first down for the Steelers. Their own 42. Merrill Hodge breaking the containment. The outside. Gets good yardage. The midfield strike. Gain of a little bit better than 8 for Merrill Hodge. Forced out on that side by the cornerback J.C. Pearson. But that's the second time already in the early going, Paul, that we've seen that outside containment break down.
All right, they're blocking on Maz at the center, but watch, the hole is not inside, so they break it outside, and there's 58. Derek Thomas has got to play the outside and stay outside. Don't worry about, as an outside linebacker, making so many tackles inside. You have inside people that can do that. Your first job, and we showed that in the first series, is to stay outside and make sure they don't bounce out.
Second and short. Second, a little less than 2. Hodge on his 4th carry of the afternoon near the first down marker. He's inside the 48. I believe he's got the first down near the 47-yard line. Brought down by Dino Hackett.
Bill Ma's playing the nose tackle, really, and you see Damani Dawson, number 63, on 63, and he just turns him to the inside. Ma's does not make the play. You see him standing up right there. Damani Dawson just made a great block.
Bill Ma's coming back to where he was an All-American at the University of Pittsburgh, grew up in this area as well. And when the Chiefs offense is on the field, it's got to be a very emotional day for their center, Mike Webster. We'll talk about that just a little bit later. First and 10. The Kansas City 47. Swing it out to Warren Williams. He's got it near the 41-yard line. Gain of 7, almost 8 on the completion.
You know, we did 2 games of Tanchokin and showed how he stands up and shows pass, but it doesn't make any difference. There he is. He stand up. It's pass play. He doesn't care. He's there. He's on Neil Smith, and watch this. Bang. Right there at the line of scrimmage. Blankenship gets in on it. Doesn't make any difference whether he shows it or not. He still blocks. Well, he got mad at me. No, he wasn't.
Yesterday, we're walking off the field at practice, and all of a sudden, a lineman comes running over to collar Paul Maguire, and it's Tunch He said he heard from 30 people that he hasn't heard from since his high school days. All because of you, Maguire. Second and short. Merrill Hodge again gets to the outside for a first down and then some. Inside the 35, all the way to the 32-yard line. It's got to be very encouraging for a Pittsburgh offense that was almost dormant last Sunday against the Houston Oilers when they were shut out. 27-0. Other scores in week number 8 of the NFL season. A touchdown pass by Warren Moon as the Oilers on top of the Browns. Other scores around the NFL. Al Del Greco with a field goal for the Phoenix Cardinals. Bubby Brister said, if I get to start, this was at midweek, I guarantee I'll complete 65% of my passes. 4 of 6 so far today for 43 yards. He's throwing on first and 10 for Lewis Lipp. The defensive back slipped down, Albert Lewis. It's complete to the 25-yard line. Gain of 7 on the reception.
Isn't that amazing, the confidence of Brister, one of the teams that have been sacked more than anybody in the National Football League? And here he is. He says, hey, I have confidence in this offensive line. They can get the job done for me. But one of the things, we talked to Deron Cherry yesterday. He said, we will play basically zone defense. It looked that time, and the time Lewis Lips caught the other pass, that they were in man-to-man.
Deron Cherry mentioned last week Houston played a 3 across zone, played the run first, and it paid off against the Pittsburgh Steelers in that shutout victory. Hodge on the second and short carry. Inside the 25, down to the 23, short of the first down marker by 1 yard. Merrill Hodge, a real workaholic in their backfield this year. He's their leading ground gainer in his 3rd year from Idaho State, a 10th round draft choice back in '87. They have had problems getting their running game on track, and that's why they want to make that commitment. As Dan Salamua heads off the field, hobbles off the field for the Kansas City Chiefs. But Chuck Noll wants to get the ground game going. Marty Schottenheimer, he was just talking about his defense yesterday in glowing terms. And with good reason. One of the best defensive units in the NFL. It's Warren Williams for the first down. The man from Miami inside the 20. Down to the 17-yard line. What an impressive start today on the second possession for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They took the first possession. They drove down and got a field goal. Second possession. We're looking at Derek Thomas, number 58. Look, he goes inside, looks, and now he gets back to the outside and helps out on the play. He's got to read and not commit himself too much to get stuck inside. And I know he's an excellent linebacker. He's only a rookie. But the things that you have to learn is just don't be too impatient when you're playing. Play your keys, but don't give the outside away.
In the first half last week, the Steelers' offensive unit only had the ball 7 minutes of the first 30. Already today, better than 6 minutes compared to 2 minutes for the Kansas City Chiefs. The pitch goes to Williams on first and 10. He can't get to the outside. Does a good job just to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard at the most, to the 21-yard line. Kevin Porter came up, the strong safety on run support.
Kevin Porter made an excellent play on that particular play because he kept the thing from going outside, forced it back inside, and was able to make the tackle on top of it.
The best the Chiefs have done so far against the run.
Salamua is back in the game. He's all right.
And Ouija Thompson comes in for the first time to join Lewis Lips on the far side of the field. They double up on that side on 2nd and 9. Ball's down to the 16-yard line. Wide open. It goes to Lips. Lips inside the 5. Flag down, touchdown Steelers.
And Bubby Brister got nailed again.
Where they threw the flag, you would think it would be on the Kansas City Chiefs in the secondary. Checking with Tom Dooley. Yes, a face mask is. It looked like they spun around Lewis Lips, the wide receiver who took it in for the touchdown.
Brister has been reading the defenses so well. I mean, he has really been able to find out the open man.
5-yard face mask. Number 20 on the defense. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
That's Duron Cherry, the free safety.
All right, Albert Lewis is the man that's blitzing. He's a corner. He gets to Bubby Brister. You're going to see Duron Cherry come up now. He reaches out, grabs the face mask.
Extra point is perfect by Gary Anderson.
And this will be tacked on at the kickoff.
Exactly. There's a timeout of the field, 2 possessions for the Pittsburgh Steelers and 2 scores. A 41-yard field goal by Anderson. A touchdown pass to Lips. Brister pays, but the Steelers lead by 10. 75-yard drive for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had a penalty on the return by Rod Woodson. Instead of taking the ball at the 48, they took it to the 25. It didn't make any difference, though, as Bobby Brister completed that 16-yard touchdown pass to Lewis Lips, and the Pittsburgh Steelers with 10 points already. A 10-0 lead with 4:41 left in the first half. McNair waiting for the kickoff from Anderson. Takes it at the 3. Put down across the 20. At the 22-yard line, where Kansas City will get it for the second time today.
Oh, interesting defense here. You take a look. You see Albert Lewis, 29, was blitzing. Now they end up with a strong safety or weak safety, Duron Cherry, covering a wide receiver, Lewis Lips. It's a little bit strange. Here comes Albert Lewis right to left of your screen. He's the guy that makes the play, but you're forcing the safety to cover the fast Lewis Lips, and you see the face mask.
A tough start today for the 3rd best defense overall in the NFL and the 2nd best against the pass. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs.
Bubby smiling.
Their own 22-yard line with good reason. DeBerg dumps it off to Saxon. He can't get back to the original line of scrimmage. He's put down to the 20-yard line. Let's go to Bob Costas now for an update. NFL Live.
All right, Joel, in that Houston-Cleveland matchup in Cleveland, the Oilers kept the ball on the opening drive, 14 plays, almost 9 minutes. This caps it, 13 yards, Moon to Haywood Jeffries. They lead 7-0. By the way, Paul, on the pregame show, Ralph Wiley wondered if there's anything to do in Buffalo. Perhaps you'd like to take him up there for a tour.
Now, I know you're the tourist commissioner. Are you going to take Mr. Wiley?
They'll take him up there on a tour and send him back in a box.
That's Paul Maguire. I'm Joel Meyers. We welcome you back to Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. DeBerg throwing on 2nd and long. Hit as he released it and knocked down. He went for Stephon Page, but Rod Woodson has a flag thrown right at his feet. He was providing the coverage. Did he go for the back of the wide receiver to get to the ball? It'll be an automatic first down. Defensive holding call. 116 yards of offense for Pittsburgh, only 3 for Kansas City.
Number 26 defense. First down.
All right, let's just take a look at Rod Woodson, number 26. Here he comes in. See, that was holding before the play, because he made a tremendous play on the ball.
Kansas City has the first down of the day, and it comes by way of penalty. Christian Okoye slams it to the 30-yard line. Gain of 5 on the carry. The NFL's leading ground gainer, tripped up by Gerald Williams.
Well, we talked so much about Mike Webster, who played here at Pittsburgh for so long. Take a look at his blocking now. Here's his job. His job is to get to Williams, to get it to his inside, to take him back. He doesn't do the job. The man that does the job is Williams, number 98, and makes the play. But isn't it amazing? Now, here's Christian Okoye. Runs the ball. Doesn't look like much, but that was 5. Webster runs in and out of the huddle. He's incredible.
It's a lot of fun. It was a real kick to listen to the other players of the Chiefs yesterday talk about Mike Webster in his 16th year. 9-time Pro Bowler. Okoye stopped at the original line, falls forward for a couple to the 32-yard line. It'll still bring up, though, 3rd and 3. Hardy Nickerson and Gerald Williams made that stop. You just saw the touchdown pass by Warren Moon. That gave Houston the lead. Week number 8 of the NFL campaign. And Buffalo now on top of Miami. Cincinnati trying to break that 2-game losing streak. And Bobby Hebert with an early touchdown pass for the New Orleans Saints. You call Okoye's number, he's not even in the backfield. They pull him out of the game. They bring in the one they like to go to out of the backfield, Todd McNair. Flags into the air on 3rd and 3. They fire to the outside. It's complete to Emil Harry for a first down. Past the 35 to the 37-yard line. But there are penalty flags down on the play, right at the original line of scrimmage.
I think the defense lined, yeah, they did. The defense lined up offside. This will drive a coach absolutely crazy. You stop him in the first drive. Pittsburgh stops Kansas City.
Defense. 2 members of the defense lined up offside.
Only 2.
You only have 11. But, you know, you stop them in the first drive. Now they get 1 first down on a penalty. Going for a first down. They would have had the first down. But you line up offside.
Very young group for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Group that just seems to be getting better and better each week. Did run into a snag last week as Okoye goes absolutely nowhere on the 1st and 10 carry. That is his 5th carry of the day. He's only got 14 yards now. Greg Lloyd and Gerald Williams combining for that stop.
Joe, let's just talk about Okoye for just a moment and when he runs. Now, he's 6'1". He weighs 262 pounds, runs a 4.5 40. But the thing about Okoye is the only place he's really effective is from tackle to tackle. Once you get him going down the line of scrimmage, he loses all of that power and effectiveness because he's going sideways and not straight ahead. And Pittsburgh is just jamming everything right in the middle.
Those last numbers illustrate how much he means to this team. As Okoye goes on the play action as DeBerg finds Stephon Page for a first down. Really a good fake, though, by Okoye into the middle of the line as it's down to the 45-yard line of Pittsburgh. A 16-yard gain in the reception.
And you've got to do more of this because when Stephon Page came out to the outside, Joel, there was not a soul near him. DeBerg just didn't deliver the ball well enough because Stephon Page would have been going down the sideline. He had to go down to the ground to get the pass, gets back up and makes the first down. But the one thing that's effective is that fake to Okoye.
And it goes back to what Steve DeBerg told us yesterday. The Pittsburgh Steelers are one of the few teams in the league that keep their weak safety fairly close to the line of scrimmage. They don't keep them that deep. So the play action is very effective against this defense. They're on for Herman Hurd, his first of the day, and an effective one inside the 40. Down to the 39-yard line for a gain of 6, close to 7 yards. Shoved down by Hardy Nickerson.
Cardinal Lake found out that Okoye can also block. And he just put them with a shoulder and knocked him out of the hole.
6 yards, second down, 4.
Huge difference on the offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs. They are one of the largest offensive lines in the AFC. I guess you could put them atop the list along with the Cincinnati Bengals. They are a monstrous group. There's the gun ending the first 15 minutes of play. We'll be right back to Pittsburgh with the Steelers leading by 10. We get ready for the start of the second quarter as we welcome you back to Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. The Steelers leading the Kansas City Chiefs 10-0. I'm Joel Meyers alongside Paul Maguire. Bubby Brister back in the lineup today and working after missing 2 games with this brace on his left leg.
This is why he's back. And take a look at it. This thing goes this way, the way the knee is supposed to go, and it does not go this way. But there's also a pad on this side. You wonder why not 2 braces? This holds the knee on the other side, and it holds it firmly.
He's limited side to side, but Bubby told us yesterday, moving straight upfield, he has no problems whatsoever. His coach said, though, you better throw the ball away. I don't want to see you scramble that much tomorrow. That was yesterday after practice. Christian Okoye on the run. The first play of the second quarter on 2nd and 4. He gets very close to that first down marker.
Well, I talked about the way Christian Okoye blocks, and he's number 35 in the center of your screen. Now watch this, and Lake is going to come up, and he just hits him. He gets a little piece there. And that opens it up for Hurd on the outside.
Time out on the field. We'll be right back for a measurement as the Chiefs look for a first down. Join NBC Sports next Sunday for another exciting NFL doubleheader. It all starts at 12:30 Eastern with Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson NFL Live. And some of you will see the Colts head down to Miami. Seahawks take on the Chiefs the second half of our doubleheader. Either the Bengals Raiders or the Steelers and the Denver Broncos. 3rd and short, 3rd and inches, double tight end set. for the Chiefs. Their ace offense. Okoye slips on his own. Goes down right at the 35-yard line. It'll depend upon the spot.
Okoye trips before he gets to the line of scrimmage. This is 4th down situation. Here comes Okoye here. Now, I don't know if he trips on DeBerg or not. No, he just, his right toe just stubs the ground. But since he's not touched, even though he hits the ground, he can crawl forward. This is 4th down situation with Okoye in the backfield. Why not?
Hardy Nickerson, who calls the defensive signals for the Pittsburgh Steelers, has just suffered a sprained left knee and will not be back, they're told. Now, that was an interesting spot because you brought up a good point. He is not touched, and he scrambled on his own inside the 35, but they put the ball outside the 35.
I wonder if they're upstairs looking at this thing because he should have a 1st down. He was not touched when he went down, and he can crawl to a 1st down. It's a bad mark.
It was the 7th carry of the afternoon for Christian Okoye over his first 6. He's only got a total of 17 yards. Last week, he had a team record 33 carries for the Chiefs in their 38-26 win over the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, his right toe stubs now, but watch Okoye when he goes down. Nobody touches him here. He's on the ground, right? Nobody touches him. Now, he can roll, and look where the ball is. The ball is on the other side.
Very close to the 34.
All right, from there, Okoye is down, but he can crawl past. You can see the ball is beyond the line of scrimmage, beyond the 35-yard marker, and that ball should be it should be a 1st down. They'll give you that one of those inconclusive deals, right?
He wasn't touched behind the 35 by a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive unit. Replacing Hardy Nickerson now, it'll be Jerry Olszewski, a rookie from the University of Pittsburgh, 10th round draft choice.
We have a reversal. It's 1st down on the 34.5-yard line.
Good call, partner.
Hey, you're not down until you're down. Somebody said that once, didn't they?
Was it Yogi?
I don't know. Well, you can see it here, and this is an excellent call by these officials because he can crawl, he can do anything he wants to do as long as he's not touched.
Best penetration of the day offensively for the Kansas City Chiefs and Steve DeBerg. They started this drive back at their own 22-yard line. Now it's 1st and 10, just outside of the 34. Okoye, the single set. Play action for DeBerg on the slant for Manley. Tipped and intercepted by Little. Flags on the play. Little knocked down at the 30-yard line. Let's find out what those flags are about, though.
Holding.
Was the ball deflected, though, before the penalty?
Yeah, that ball, once it's tipped, you can hit a guy, but there was holding. What are they talking about? Now, the Pittsburgh says that they're going to get the ball back. If it is tipped, you're absolutely right. But I thought he was hit well before the ball was thrown.
Disregard the flag. There is no foul. The ball was tipped. 1st down.
So the ball was tipped before the penalty was committed right there, before the contact on Manley. Interception for David Little. The Steelers get it back, up by 10. Kansas City Chiefs just picked off on that last play, and they have thrown more interceptions than any other team in the NFL, throwing it away 14 times. While the Pittsburgh Steelers, well, they've given it away too, Paul, leading the NFL in fumbles with a total of 10. So 2 teams that come in at 3 and 4, and you can understand why, as Hardy Nickerson is wheeled off the field with that sprained left knee. And that's a huge blow because he's their defensive quarterback. He calls the defensive signal. Brister on 1st and 10 from the 30. Goes out to Warren Williams. It's complete to the 36-yard line on the reception. Phenomenal start today for Bubby Brister. Oilers still making that Warren Moon pass stand up. Thurman Thomas with a touchdown run. With the Bills up by 11 now at home over the Dolphins. Other scores around the NFL. Biasucci with a field goal to make it a 7-point Colts lead. And Rodney Holman with a touchdown reception to tie it up for Cincinnati. 2nd and short, the ideal situation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2nd and 4. Merrill high. Gets the block to the inside he goes. Great block on the outside on Derek Thomas. It's the 43 for a 1st down. Let's go to Bob Costas for another update at NFL Live.
Joel, a nice play a short time ago at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. Jack Trudeau back to throw, a perfect spiral right into the arms of Andre Rison, who takes it in his stride, 22-yard touchdown, his first NFL scoring reception, and then watch the maneuver with his teammate Clarence Verdant, a little Verdance to celebrate. It's 10-3 Colts.
Thank you, Bob.
The celebration is still alive.
And it's not a demonstration and a penalty. First and 10 at the 43-yard line for the Steelers. Brister out for Lips. He takes it in. Great grab by Lewis. Lips going down to get it. That is 6 straight completions now for Bubby Brister. Pulled it off in front of Albert Lewis.
Well, the one thing that Brister's doing, these are timing patterns, because Albert Lewis was there. Lips just goes down about 6 or 7 yards and turns to the outside. And before he makes that turn, Brister already has the ball in the air.
A gain of close to 7 on the completion. Brings up a 3rd and 3 right at the midfield stripe, and I guess they're going to go upstairs to find out if Lewis Lips got his hands underneath the ball, keeping it away from the turf. To take another look at it, the instant replay official. I thought it was a completion, but we're on the opposite side of the field.
They really ruined a good thing with this instant replay. I'm very honest with you. There's just no way next year that it's gonna be here. I can't believe that it will be. All right, here's a shot that we have up here, and Lips's hands are underneath the ball, and this will be a catch.
By his hands.
There's an official standing right there. He's a guy in front of Lips. If he can't see it, no one else can. Let the officials officiate and get on with it. It's a game of humans, not machines.
It's incredible with the frequency that they're heading up to the replay official booth now.
Play stands. Watch it.
After further review, the play will stand as called. Second down.
Why not? It's a good catch.
Fortunately, not that long of a delay. 2nd and 3 now. Close to 3.5. Pittsburgh is not slowed down offensively. They don't on this occasion as they get another first down. Merrill Hodge pounding it straight up the middle. Behind his center and guard. Inside the 45 near the 44-yard line.
All right, here's the catch again, but look at his hands. Look where Lewis Lips's hands are. They are underneath the ball. The ball does not hit the ground. Good coverage by Lewis, but Lips makes the catch. Right there. Both hands are underneath the ball, pulls it up into him. I like it.
Great scoop by Lewis Lips and great shots provided from our producer George Finkel and our director Brian Sheriff. 1st and 10 for the Steelers at the Chiefs' 44-yard line. Counter to Warren Williams. One of the few times they have stopped the Steeler ground game. That was Chris Martin, the outside linebacker in his 7th year from Auburn.
That's the biggest adjustment I think the Chiefs had to make so far in this game, is to keep those 2 outside linebackers, Chris Martin and Derek Thomas, to stay out there and stay at home. Don't commit yourself to the inside. That time Martin stayed at home, made the play.
Kansas City defense number 3 overall in the NFL and the only defensive unit in the NFL to hold the opposition to under 300 yards each of their first 7 games this season. Quite an accomplishment. I don't know if there's a better secondary in either conference, Paul. They are tough. Brister throwing on 2nd and long. Gets Warren Williams to the 35-yard line. Rolls for an extra yard to the 34, and that is right at the first down marker. Good heads-up play by Williams as he wasn't touched when he took it in.
All right, we've been watching Derek Thomas now. He's in the middle. Watch, he's going to try and play a game to come all the way outside. And Terry O'Shea, the tight end. Watch this. Look, good pickup on the outside. No chance for Thomas to get there. First of all, he was late on the move. And they keep the tight end in. The Pittsburgh Steelers told us, with Derek Thomas, because he is so fast and strong, what they're going to do is when they have the opportunity, they're going to block him with a lineman. If he's on the side of the tight end will stay in and block him.
7 in a row completed by Bubby Brister. This time it's Merrill Hodge running the ball for the first down. He takes it inside the 33 down to the 32-yard line. A possession gain by the Pittsburgh Steelers, mixing the run and pass very effectively.
You know, we had a chance yesterday to sit and talk to Bubby, and I don't know if I've met a quarterback recently that has as much confidence as he has, and on a team that's 3-4. I mean, he just really He loves to play football. He loves to be tough, and he says, I'm the kind of guy that can get this offense fired up.
They're also missing a key component in the backfield today with back spasms, and that's their #1 pick for Georgia. Tim Worley. Hodge getting the block to the outside, breaking the tackle inside the 25. He's got another first down to the 21-yard line. But Long got outside and put that block on Derek Thomas again. The key block.
Well, the block is on Derek Thomas. Now, Derek Thomas this time, remember I said about staying outside? He stays there. But Deron Cherry coming up does not make the tackle. There's Thomas. Here comes Deron Cherry. He does not make the tackle. But actually, Derek Thomas did his job to force the play back to the inside. The inside pursuit never got there. And that was a tremendous run. Hodge, they put somebody in for Hodge, and he got mad.
He didn't want to come out of the game with good reason.
I like this. I like
a lot
this.
of momentum. Ray Wallace is his replacement. Warren Williams and Wallace in the backfield. Double tight end set. Wallace on his first carry of the day for about a yard inside the 21. Bill Moss, Pittsburgh native, making that hit.
Buffalo doing it to Miami.
And Cincinnati with their first lead of the day at home taking on Tampa Bay.
And will Dallas ever score this week?
Second and long. Second and still close to 10 coming up for the Steelers on this, the 10th play of the drive that started back at their own 30-yard line after the interception by David Brister. Has it knocked down the line. Flags down on the play. It was thrown in the area of Merrill Hodge. And Brister comes up hobbling.
Meisner knocks the ball down. Oh, boy.
And it's that left knee. The one that kept him out the last 2 weeks, the sprained left knee that he's wearing the knee brace on.
Holding 65 offense.
We'll get a chance to
Second
see
down.
this hit now. Here's Brister. He's planted on that left leg. Salimua comes in and hits him there. And, you know, again, we showed you that brace at the break in the quarter. That brace holds that knee from going left and right. It'll go up and down, but it won't go left and right. This guy's tough. I'm going to tell you, he is tough.
Salimua with the hit. Will it knock Brister out of the game? He's going to stay in for at least the next snap.
Salimua is going down. He's just, and if you take a look, though, his shoulders hit him up in the top of his thighs. He was not aiming at the knee.
It's now 2nd and 20. The ball back outside of the 31. And can Brister continue? He's calling a timeout. I don't think so. They've got Rick Strom in his first year from Georgia Tech warming up now on the Steelers sideline. Just before we broke away, Bubby Brister hit from the blind side by Dan Salimua, but good display of sportsmanship by the defensive lineman of the Kansas City Chiefs in his 3rd year out of Arizona State.
And I can tell you, Brister said it was a good hit.
2nd and 20. We'll welcome you back to Pittsburgh. I'm Joel Meyers along with Paul Maguire. Steelers by 10 looking for the screen pass. It's Merrill Hodge, and it goes absolutely nowhere. Flags down to the play as Petrie knife through to make the stop. It's a loss of a yard back to the 32-yard line.
Flag on the play.
Bill Maws almost broke through. He went to his knees. But Petrie, number 45, who is a safety, came up and really made a great play. Actually, Petrie is playing corner. J.C. Pearson started at the corner, and then Petrie ended up taking his place.
Yeah, we've got a penalty coming up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was a holding call a couple of plays ago against John Jackson. And now they're starting to push themselves out of Gary Anderson field goal position.
Well, I had to wait and check with the bench to see if they want the penalty.
Offensive pass interference, number 82, second down.
Derek Hill called for that penalty.
Number 63 in the middle of your picture, Bill Maws. Now watch this. He makes a move, but he's held. He goes down to the ground. Terry Long was holding on to him. And there's the great play by Petrie. He just came up and just did a great job, went right through the blocking. But they called offensive pass interference on number 82, Derek Hill.
Pass defense for the Kansas City Chiefs, leading the AFC. 2nd best overall in the NFL. Brister throwing for Williams, bobbles, and dropped the ball. So it'll be a third and long situation when we come back. But first, let's go to Bob Costas for another update in NFL Live.
All right, Joel, trying to solidify their hold on first place in the AFC East. The Bills are leading the Dolphins in Buffalo 14-3. Big first half for Thurman Thomas. Watch this 30-yard beauty. Highest praise you can receive. O.J. sitting here in the studio said, that is a run, my man. He's got 90 yards already. They're not yet to halftime. 14-3 Bills.
Buffalo Bills today trying to raise their record to 6-2. Steelers with a 10-0 lead, but they're facing a 3rd and 30. Back their own, or the 41-yard line of the Kansas City Chiefs. Thomas after Brister. Brister dumping off to Hodge. Just making it the field goal position they need. Diving near the 30-yard line. And Brister was hit again at the end of the play.
I see walking away Salamua. Now here's Brister. He's going down. Derek Thomas coming to the outside, and he's being held right on that by John Jackson, number 65. And Brister just goes down on his own. And he wasn't hit. He just, instead of taking the hit, and he told us yesterday, I'm going to dump some balls. Usually I'll run around with the ball, but not anymore. Not with my leg in a brace like that.
Gary Anderson has hit a 41-yarder. This is a 47-yard attempt on its way with plenty of distance, and it's good. Another 3 points for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3 possessions and 3 scores, and the Steelers lead it by 13. The second most accurate place kicker in NFL history has just hit his 10th of the season to give the Pittsburgh Steelers another 3 points. A 47-yard field goal from Gary Anderson. And the Steelers lead it by 13 over the Chiefs. Kansas City ready to get it back for the 3rd time as Anderson booms away a beauty. Copeland takes it. Can't do a thing with it, though. 8 yards in the end zone. And that may not be all bad with the way Kansas City's special teams have been performing over the last couple of weeks. Gary Anderson accounting for 6 of the first 13 points of the day for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've got to get Christian Okoye involved in the offense a little bit more. 7 carries, only 19 yards so far. Merrill Hodge with a great start for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Averaging 6 yards a carry. That's not bad, huh?
Kansas City starting for the 2nd time today at their own 20. One other possession started at 22. Okoye to the outside. Look out. He's got a first down. So he's across the 30.
Everybody went, ooh, the ground can't cause a fumble. I said he wasn't that effective on the outside, but when he gets on the outside and he's able to get his shoulders squared up, there's that Manley downfield making a block, and Okoye is coming full blast. One thing they were talking about Okoye is, and everybody talks about how he runs straight up. It's true, he does. Deron Cherry said when his shoulders are lowered, like about right there where you see him, look out.
To quote Deron, he said, it's scary at times. Okoye on the play action. DeBerg will throw, looking deep. Goes to the outside for Manley. It's complete for another first down. Pete Manley, the former Detroit Lion, with a 1st and 10 across the 41-yard line. He's been quite a find for the Kansas City Chiefs. Houston getting a field goal. Zendejas to add to their lead at Cleveland. It's been a wild race this year in the AFC Central Division, with a 3-way tie for the lead to start the day between Cincinnati, Houston, and Cleveland. And the Pittsburgh Steelers only 1 game back at 3-4. A wide open situation in the Central. Okoye on the 1st and 10 carry across the 45. He's got it to the 47-yard line for a gain of 6. He got off to a slow start last week when he had 170 yards on those 33 carries, a team record. Got most of it in the second half, so maybe he's one of those, Paul, that needs a little bit of work before he really starts to run.
Well, if you look at this series of downs now, 2 plays they have run Okoye outside of the tackle. Reason? The Pittsburgh Steelers have 6 guys jammed from tackle to tackle, and there's no place to run inside. And in order to loosen up this defense, they want to get him outside a few times to let people know he can run out there if he has to, as long as he can get his shoulders square up to the field.
2nd and 4. The ball to the Chiefs 47. Page going in motion. Slant goes to Alfredo Roberts. He's got it for a first down and then some. Inside the 30, the tight end lumbers down. to the 28-yard line. Good read by Steve DeBerg.
Yeah, it was an excellent read by DeBerg. Roberts was there, the tight end, but the play action to Okoye, first of all, freezes linebackers. And when that happens, they're really not paying that much attention to Roberts, the tight ends. Watch here. The linebackers are caught inside. So the pass is over the linebackers. Now the only one left is the safety, and that's Lake.
Down to the 28 where it's 1st and 10. Okoye on the carry with blocking out in front to the 20. Inside the 15, flags down to the play. As Okoye is forced out of bounds. I love it when you laugh about Okoye because he is something to watch. Down to the 12-yard line.
Well, I just sit here and wonder because we don't know what goes through their minds. But Carnell Lake, there's going to be a holding penalty, I think, or whatever it is up here. But Carnell Lake is coming up to make the play on a guy that's 262 pounds.
Holding, 83 offense, first down.
They got Stephon Page for holding on Woodruff. Is that who he's holding? Yeah, that's called holding. You see that block? That's holding. When you grab the shirt, he holds it to the inside. Now, here comes Lake. Look at
But, Paul, he didn't grab the jersey that long.
Yeah, well, long enough to get caught. But Lake, he just feels sorry for him, knowing I've got to do it. I mean, I can't back off of this guy. I got to hit him, and he's sticking his nose in there.
10-yard mark-off makes it 1st and 20. The ball back at the Steelers' 38-yard line. DeBerg again with the play action. Plenty of time. They set it up. They send it out for Herman Hurd. Can't break that initial tackle. And Hurd goes down after a gain of only a couple. Near the 37, close to the 36-yard line. Greg Lloyd with a good open field tackle.
Yeah, Lutz was out there, number 72, and they were trying to get the block, and he's the right guard, pulled out and got into that screen. That screen took an awful long time to set up. It doesn't do much good when you play fake when Okoye is not in the game.
And it really takes the Chiefs out of their game when they're in a situation of 1st and 20 because they want to keep Okoye in the backfield. And they'd like to run it as much as possible on 1st and 10 with Okoye. He's still on the sideline. They go with Hurd and Saxon in the backfield. 2nd and 18. DeBerg in trouble. He's down. First sack of the day to Keith Willis. The big defensive lineman in his 7th year from Northeastern.
I'll let you tell a story about Keith Willis yesterday, but he's on the right-hand side of your screen. Now watch Willis. What Willis does, he goes right inside of Lutz, number 72, and beats him clean. No place for DeBerg to go. He likes tackling Okoye, doesn't he?
Willis may have had the best line of the day for us when he was talking about Christian Okoye. He says, if you try to arm tackle Okoye, he'll pick your arm up off the ground and hand it back to you. Chiefs 2 of 3 and 3rd down conversions. It's the 3rd and 30 after the sack by Willis. And a timeout for the Chiefs and DeBerg. I don't know if Marty Schottenheimer wanted to use one on 3rd and 30. We'll be right back to Pittsburgh with the Steelers leading by 13.
Some people see shaving as something you do for 3 minutes a day. At Braun, we see it as something you do for a lifetime. And we think you should make the best of it. The Braun Shaver, with its 3 shaving positions. Designed for those who choose to make a virtue out of necessity. Braun, the world's #1 selling foil shaver.
It's 8:47, and Andy Cavana's father is learning all about his antifreeze the hard way.
Come on, Dad, where are you?
Don't push your luck. Guarantee it with Advanced Formula Prestone.
Welcome back to Three Rivers Stadium. I'm Joel Meyers along with Paul Maguire. If the Steelers need him, he is ready to go, Paul.
He's in the stands, but I don't know if they'd send him out with that pink T-shirt on. Excuse me.
He wouldn't be missed by anybody. 3rd and 30. The ball at the 48-yard line for DeBerg and the Chiefs. Time for DeBerg. Goes for Stephon Page, and it's knocked away by Delton Hall. Good timing on the play. And actually, it was Pete Manley.
Good timing on the play.
At the half, Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson will fill you in on all the other scores around the NFL and highlights. There'll be a profile on Joe Walton with Gale Gardner.
But Byrne getting into it, hanging up a high one. Rod Woodson letting it go as it's into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, a 48-yard punt, but only a 28-yard net on it as it goes out to the 20-yard line. So the Steelers get it back with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the first half. And next Saturday, NBC Sports presents exclusive coverage of the '89 Breeders' Cup. Horse of the Year honors on the line as Sunday Silence and Easy Goer head-to-head, and that classic, the $3 million seventh race. So join us live from beautiful Gulfstream Park in Florida for 7 championship races with $10 million prizes, or $10 million in prize money. And on Sunday Silence, Chris McCarron will get the ride as opposed to Pat Valenzuela. So share America's Day of the Races with NBC Sports next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern. First and 10 for the Steelers. They've got it at their own 20-yard line, and Brister staying in that game, even though he's been hit a couple of times on this left knee. Rodney Carter with his first carry. Across the 23 for a gain of 3. You don't see Carter run the ball that often because they love to throw him the ball.
I'm going to tell you something. Pittsburgh, they are getting their guards out. Long and Reinstra just came out on that sweep, and that's the key. They're getting some people in front of the ball carrier.
Long has had a phenomenal first half. We have wound our way down to the 2-minute warning in Pittsburgh with the Steelers in control so far. The Pittsburgh Steelers have dominated just about every area of the game so far, and they've got a 13-0 lead over the Kansas City Chiefs. So we bring you back to Pittsburgh, the 2-minute warning. And Pittsburgh with the ball looking at a second down, a 2nd and 7 from their own 23-yard line. I'm Joel Meyers along with Paul Maguire. Steelers with a touchdown pass to Lips, 2 Gary Anderson field goals. Brister with plenty of time. Going down the sideline for Thompson. 2 receivers in the same area. That was definitely a different sort of pattern for the Steelers. It's incomplete as Petrie was over there with Derek Thomas. Houston with the field goal by Zendejas, up by 10. And in that Buffalo game, Paul, Miami's Dan Marino sacked for the first time in the last 20 games. So that is 19 straight games Marino is not sacked in. And that's an NFL record that is snapped today by the Buffalo Bills.
Jeff Wright. Now, he's the heir apparent to Freddie Smirlis at nose tackle, and he really is a good one.
3rd and 7 for the Steelers. They're 3 of 5 in third down conversions after going 3 of 23 in that department over the last 2 weeks. Jason Johnson, the motion man. Brister for Lips, wide open with a huge cushion for a first down to the 38 near the 39-yard line. He really ran Deron Cherry back on that one.
Joel, they're trying to blitz a back to get to Brister from his backside. Now, Danny Copeland last time, number 25, tried to get to Brister, but we're talking about timing plays. And that time, Lips went down with 2 people on him, Albert Lewis and Deron Cherry, number 20 and 29. And look what Lips, all he does is turn it up, and that ball, when he was turning, you could see that the ball was already in the air.
Are the Chiefs possibly gambling too much defensively?
I think they are, and they're trying to play too much man-to-man, especially on a guy like Lewis Lips.
That's the last thing we expected after what happened in the Houston shutout over Pittsburgh last week, where we were told by the Chiefs secondary that Houston went almost exclusively with a 3-across zone. Stop the run first, and then look at the pass. Marty Schottenheimer with a 6-game winning streak against the Steelers, but that was as the coach of the Cleveland Browns.
But it's also something that happens to the Kansas City Chiefs. All week long, they practiced to face Blackledge, Todd Blackledge. And it wasn't until Friday morning that Brister was announced to start.
1st and 10, inside toss goes to Hodge. Breaks a tackle. Can he get out of bounds? Yes, he does. There's the first down marker. Close to the 48-yard line. Good heads-up play by Merrill Hodge, who's having a dynamite first half.
Good heads-up play by Hodge. Now, this is that shovel pass. Now, take a look at this secondary of Kansas City. Now, watch them dropping off. Now, everyone's covered downfield except the little shovel pass that they threw to Hodge. Copeland comes up, number 25, misses the tackle, and Hodge gets 9 yards on the play. What a safe pass that is.
We'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion of the contest. So far, it's been all Pittsburgh. They lead by 13. 2nd and 1 at their own 48-yard line. Johnson again, the motion man with flags in the air. A dead ball penalty coming up. you would have to think against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Back on the play.
Bill Maws picked up the ball and stiff-armed Bubby Brister. I mean, not hard. He just put his hand on him.
Will you please reset the time to 1:35?
Isn't that interesting?
Time ran off the clock, and it was a dead ball penalty.
Well, there was no penalty, really, is it? They called a false start, and then they ran the clock back. You're absolutely right. Bill Maws, that was funny.
False start called on John Jackson. So he is cited for his second penalty of the first half. Merrill Hodge, 11 carries so far, a total of 70 yards. Hodge had a total of 228 over the first 7 games coming in today. What a day he is enjoying. Thomas after Brister. He's got him. A sack for the Chiefs all the way back inside the 25.
All right, I told you before that Derek Thomas, they wanted to put a lineman on Derek Thomas. This time Thomas was down on the line of scrimmage, and John Jackson could not get to him and slow him down. To the right of the screen, Derek Thomas, you see Jackson trying to block him. He's already by him. Neil Smith is already back there, but Thomas makes the sack.
And it may all come back because of a penalty flag.
Offside, number 58.
That's why no wonder he got a great start.
That's right.
Second down and 1.
He was so fast past the lineman that Merrill Hodge didn't even have time to react.
Oh, when we asked Marty Schottenheimer yesterday to describe Derek Thomas, all he said, he's fast, fast, fast.
Fastest linebacker, he said, he has ever seen.
And when you get the jump on him, you get a little bit faster. He's cheating now.
So now it's second and short. Swipes off the second. Hodge, another shovel pitch. Gets the first down. Gets the ball outside Chiefs territory. And now there's an altercation behind the play breaking out between Derek Thomas and Bubby Brister. Penalty flags down.
Now, Derek Thomas flew in to get Brister and held on him and took Brister about 25 yards downfield. And Brister did not back off him either. He went right back at him.
He is one fiery competitor.
What do we say about the 2 wins?
Personal foul, 58, roughing the passer. First down.
We said about they lost 2 games to Cleveland and to Cincinnati right off the bat. And he said when they won the next 2, the stats weren't any good. He said, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's no such thing as an ugly win. Here comes Thomas now on Brister. The flip is there. Once he goes by, then Brister and Thomas get into it.
You're right, Paul. Brister shot right back at Derek Thomas like he was a lineman or a linebacker himself.
Tough kid.
Brister's in his 4th year. Out of Northeast Louisiana, a 3rd-round draft choice back in 1986. He goes at 6'3", 210.
What do you say? He completes 65% of his passes? They win?
Better than that right now. A lot better at 13 for 17. Inside give to Hodge. Bottled up in the backfield. He's put down a loss of a yard, yard and a half. Salamua torpedoing that play. Moss also in there.
Well, when you see that shovel pass and you see Derek Thomas coming across, he's going right at the quarterback. Now, the question is, was Hodge his man? If that's his man, it's a bad play.
Steelers only have 1 timeout left. There's 55 seconds remaining in the first half. Second, a little bit better than 11. Brister going down the sideline over his throwing. Derek Hill. Lewis Lips, rather. Albert Lewis providing the coverage, and he was with the wide receiver every step of the way. Stops the clock with 48 seconds left in the first 30 minutes of play. Halftime at Cleveland with Houston off to a good start. Also the end of the first half in Buffalo. Bob Costas, O.J. Simpson with all the scores and highlights. NFL Live at halftime. And Tampa Bay coming back. Got a safety as Boomer Esiason dropped the ball in the end zone, covered on it, but it was a safety, and that's why Tampa Bay's got that 2-point lead at Three Rivers Stadium, Pittsburgh. looking for more, leading by 13.
The last time Derek Thomas broke free again, and he saw Brister throw the ball, and he pulled up on him.
3rd and 12. Brister out of the shotgun with good protection this time. Going for Stone. It's complete for a first down, and then somebody's out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Pocket held up for Bubby Brister.
All right, we got Stone. He's on Petrie going down. Petrie's on Stone going down, and just turns him to the inside. You've got to play outside because they want to stop the clock. And there's you see where Stone steps out of bounds. Should have gotten out of bounds anyway.
Petrie working as the cornerback now. In there for Kevin Ross, who's out today, injured. And one of the 2 inactives for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And that last time they put 2 people on Derek Thomas. He's playing a down lineman rushing.
1st and 10 to the 12. Carter, the motion man. Brister going for Carter and throwing the ball away. Stops the clock with 36 seconds left in the first half.
Now they got Greg Wolfley playing the left tackle. And he does a great job. You see Wolfley right on Thomas. Just no chance. Good block.
Brister sensing that pressure coming from the opposite side from Dan Salamua. He had to unload it. Bubby now is 14 of 20 for 152 yards and 1 touchdown toss. That was a 16-yarder to Lewis Lips. 2nd and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Run left. Run left.
Brister calling the timeout before the snap, as Merrill Hodge was confused in the backfield.
They snapped the ball and hit Brister in the hands with it. I think Hodge isn't in the game. He just reached down, picked up the ball, started running with it. Brister, he's looking around because they want to change the play and run to the right of the screen. They're left, and the ball is Brister. Hodge picks it up.
Dermontti Dawson, the center. I thought I heard my snap count.
Yeah.
An incredible start for Bubby Brister and the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive unit. They've got 226 yards of total offense, only 91 for the Chiefs, with 36 seconds left in the first half. At halftime, we'll go to New York. Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson with all the scores and highlights.
What the Pittsburgh Steelers defense has done in this ballgame, offense is incredible. They're playing a great game, but they've taken Christian Okoye out of this ballgame. And the Chiefs, in order to win, better get him back into the ballgame.
Still 2nd and 10 for Brister and the Steelers. The Chiefs' 12-yard line. They already lead by 13. Brister for Lips. He was tied up on the far side with Albert Lewis. Ball's incomplete, bringing up a 3rd down.
Albert Lewis. Lewis on Lips.
3rd down.
Excellent coverage. Here it is. Lips coming inside Albert Lewis. Now, you know, is that an illegal chuck more than 5 yards past the line of scrimmage? They got away with one, Albert. No harm, no foul.
16 first down so far for the Pittsburgh Steelers. To only 7 for Kansas City. This is the 3rd and 10 at the 12. Brister, timing pattern to Carter. He falls down. Looks like there may have been a little help from Copeland. It falls incomplete. It'll be another Gary Anderson field goal try coming up.
Copeland had his hands on his back, but he just falls down because Brister throws the ball to the outside. Carter's trying to get inside. Copeland 25. Excuse me, yeah, right there, 25. Now, just see he had his hands on his back, but when he made the turn, Carter just fell down. Copeland didn't push him down. Brister's just throwing the ball in the corner of the end zone.
Anderson is already 2 of 2. This is from 29 yards out. It's on its way, and it's perfect. Gary Anderson now 11 of 14 on the season, 3 of 3 on the afternoon. And the Pittsburgh Steelers get 3 more to lead the Chiefs 16-0. 24 seconds left in the first half.
Kansas City's only down 16 points. And with a guy like Christian Okoye in the ball game, you can't take him out of the game. You've got to keep him in the ball game. Now, they started to do that with running him outside a little bit, which loosens up the defense. But then a penalty comes, forces you into a passing situation. DeBerg is not the most mobile quarterback in the National Football League. And the problem is that the defensive line, they know he's passing when that man is not in the ball game. So what they're doing is teeing off and going at DeBerg, and he's got to move out of his rhythm. Can't get the ball on target. Can't get it there.
Is that the biggest collar you've ever seen? The one that's worn by Christian Okoye? I mean, that is, I guess you could call that the Quasimodo collar. The largest.
Well, I guess he's got
on a 262-pound back to boot.
But he's got offensive tackle shoulder pads on, too, along with it. You know. Mon? What he says?
He keeps everybody loose on the offense. He's a quiet guy, but after a good run, he comes back to the offensive huddle, and he goes, good block, lineman. Anderson with the line drive kick. Copeland will take it to the goal line. Copeland tripped up across the 20, falling to the 23-yard line. Kansas City has not enjoyed the best field position of the first half. They've had it twice at their own 20, once at their own 22, and this drive at the 23 with only 20 seconds left in the half.
And when you're struggling and you have a good play like Okoye had going from left to right, get the ball down around the 12-yard line, have a holding penalty that brings it all the way back. You lose all of the yardage plus 10 more. For a struggling football team, it's very difficult to overcome it.
Chiefs still with 2 timeouts remaining. They've got 3 wide receivers to one side. Weathers, Perry, and Page to the near side of the field. DeBerg has plenty of time and finds McNair. McNair tries to get out of bounds and does so across the 45. Up to the 47-yard line. Another completion like that, they get Lowry on the field to try to get 3.
There's another man with a strong leg, Lowry, and they'd like to get 3 of that back just to give them some confidence in the feeling that they can score against Pittsburgh.
And Lowry may have the longest leg in the league. And they may be able to get one from 50-55 with Lowry.
And believe me, that was not a breakdown in the Pittsburgh defense either. I mean, they're giving up the short ball, not giving up the long ball. And there's Lowry loosening up. Hadn't had anything to do all day.
Penalty flags down on the snap. McNair again wide open, gets out of bounds with another first down inside the 35 to the 33.
Well, they're trying to cover McNair short with Brian Hinkle, number 53, who was a linebacker. And again, they're going to give you the short stuff. We've got a penalty against Pittsburgh, so the play will stand. And you are actually now in Lowry's field goal range. That's giving up just a little bit too much. There are only 6 seconds left on the clock. They're going to go for the field goal.
Offside.
It'll be 51.
93 defense. Terry's decline. First down.
Penalty is on Keith Willis, the left defensive tackle who lined up offside. So it will be a field goal try coming up for Nick Lowry.
I hate to prevent defense, Joel. I really do. The only thing, well, I'll get into prevent defense. Most of the time prevents a touchdown, but enables you to get a field goal.
It'll be a 50-yard try for Lowry with 6 seconds left in the half. His longest so far this year, 47 yards. That could go 60 yards, and it's good. Nick Lowry with the 50-yard field goal. And that has just set an NFL record. That breaks a record that he was tied with coming in. Field goals of better than 50 yards with a former Chief great, Jan Sinnerud.
And that's why I hate to prevent defense. You stop them for 29 minutes, and then you let them score.
It's halftime in Pittsburgh with the Steelers leading by 13.
Bob Coster's back at our NFL Live studios in New York along with O.J. Simpson. We welcome those of you watching the Kansas City-Pittsburgh game. And the Steelers, despite that atrocious start this year, are 3-4 right now, just a game off the lead in the Central. Somebody's got to lose head-to-head between the Browns and the Oilers. Cincinnati might lose. They're down by 2 against Tampa Bay. The Steelers win this. They're in the divisional race, but good.
Well, Chuck Nolan's really turned this team around. He's going up against a Kansas City team that came into the game with the 5th-rated offense. Now, that's the highest Kansas City has been in 10 years offensively. But in the first half, Pittsburgh has been able to hold them to just 141 yards total offense. They've held the league-leading rusher, Christian Okoye, to just 36 yards. So they're doing the job defensively, and that's how you win games and championships.
Let's take a look now at the big game in the AFC Central. Houston and Cleveland head-to-head at Cleveland, and Houston leads this one 10-0. The Joker and Batman, perhaps tickets left by Jerry Glanville. He likes to leave them for famous celebrities, real, fictitious, living, or dead. Nothing fictitious about this. Haywood Jeffries with a 13-yard TD reception from Warren Moon caps the game's first drive, 7-0 lead. Not a good day for Bernie Kosar. His troubles continue. Steve Brown intercepts him. The second the Oilers picked off during the first half. Tony Zendejas had a 24-yard field goal after the Jeffries touchdown. And Bud Carson and the Browns trail the Oilers and Jerry Glanville early in the third, 10-0. The Rams playing at Chicago, halftime at Soldier Field, game tied at 3. Mike Tomczak just 4 for 16 and yanked from the game by Mike Ditka. Jim Harbaugh quarterbacking the Bears right now. Buffalo all over Miami with a 21-3 lead early in the third quarter. They're trying to solidify their hold on first place in the AFC East. Frank Reich has thrown a 63-yard touchdown pass to Don Beebe, and it was a huge first half for Thurman Thomas of the Bills, who had over 90 yards rushing, including this 30-yard beauty down the right sideline. Then he cuts back into the end zone for a second quarter touchdown. Buffalo at 5-2, leading the 4-3 Dolphins 21-3. Something else the Bills accomplished during the first half, they sacked Dan Marino. First time in over a year. Here's Jeff Wright recording the sack at the 1 as he beat the rookie center, Jeff Uhlenhake. The last time that had happened to Marino, September 25th of '88 at the Hoosier Dome, the Colts' Dwayne Bickett did the honors on that occasion. It had been 19 games since Marino was last sacked, Buffalo leading it 21-3. Speaking of the Colts, they're up at the Hoosier Dome over New England. Not yet halftime. They're 10-3. Jack Trudeau has a 22-yard touchdown pass to Andre Rison. At last check, Eric Dickerson 9 carries for 49 yards. Tampa Bay playing at Cincinnati. I'm taking a look over at the monitor right now. The Bengals have the ball with 21 seconds to play in the half, and right now Tampa Bay leads at 16-14. Vinny Testaverde threw a touchdown pass to Mark Carrier to give them the lead. The Bengals might be on their way. It's still early, of course, and it's just a 2-point game, but they might be on their way to their third consecutive home defeat. Remember, they won every game they played at Riverfront last year on their way to the Super Bowl. Phoenix playing at Dallas. This might be one of the Cowboys' better chances to win a game this year. On a pair of Al Del Greco field goals, though, Phoenix leads at halftime 6-3. In the game you're watching, Pittsburgh with the lead on Kansas City, 16-3. Bubby Brister back, and he threw a 16-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter to Lewis Lips. A Don Mikowski touchdown pass pulled Green Bay even just before halftime. They're now at the half at County Stadium and in Milwaukee. The Lions and the Packers tied at 10. New Orleans looking for their third straight win, leading over Atlanta. The score there is 10-0. And let me tell you something about the Lion game that I forgot just before we move to that last score. In the first half alone, Barry Sanders of the Lions against Green Bay has 130 yards rushing. That's in the first half, with the Lions and Packers tied up at 10 apiece. And when we come back, we take a look at the sorry state of affairs surrounding the New York Jets, who are 1-6, and prospects don't get any brighter today as the San Francisco 49ers come to the Meadowlands. Gail Gardner has the story after this from your local stations.
It's halftime at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh with the Steelers on top of the Kansas City Chiefs 16-13 in a matchup of 2, 3, and 4 teams. So welcome back once again, everyone. I'm Joel Meyers alongside Paul Maguire, and the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, Paul, effectively taking Okoye out of the Chiefs' ground game.
Well, they knew that that's what they had to do defensively. And, you know, we talked to Keith Willis yesterday, and he said, this is the guy we have to stop. We're going to be keying on him. And they did that. And he only has 36 yards in the first half. That's taking him out of a ball game. But let us not forget, he carried the ball only 9 times in the first half. Is that correct?
9 times.
Right. 33 times he carried the ball last week. And most of the yardage that he got in the second half. Don't forget about him.
Outstanding balance in the first 30 minutes of play for the Pittsburgh Steelers offensively. Good combination of run and pass, and Bubby Brister incredibly sharp, Paul, after being off for 2 weeks.
He said, if I complete 65% of my passes, we're going to win. And he's done that so far in this ball game. He is just a tough competitor. They've hit him about 6 different times. Not sacks. I'm talking about late hits. But that knee brace that he has on, it's working for him.
You've just joined us. He got in a little bit of a brawl earlier with Derek Thomas. He did not back down from the Chiefs linebacker. Looking at the numbers through the first 2 quarters of play, the Kansas City Chiefs, they have got to feel fortunate that they're only down by 13 points. They trail 16-3. 229 yards to 141, and a lot of that 141 coming over the last 30 seconds, 20 seconds for the Kansas City Chiefs on those 2 long pass completions to McNair.
Yeah, the great prevent defense. You know, it really upsets me, Joel, when I see a team. Now, here's Pittsburgh. They were in total control of this football game, up 16-0, and for 29.5 minutes controlled the Kansas City Chiefs. And then they allow them, by going into a prevent defense, they allow the Kansas City Chiefs to get 3 points back on the board. But the worst part about it is that the Kansas City Chiefs get the ball back here in the second half. If they can move this ball down and score, get the momentum back on their side, look out.
And they may have gained a little bit of momentum from their place kicker right before the halftime gun when they got that 50-yard field goal from Nick Lowry. So they got a bit of a boost on their way into the halftime locker room. And they're down by less than 2 touchdowns. Copeland, man, McNair waiting for the kickoff from Anderson. Copeland wisely stays 4 yards into the end zone. The Chiefs will get it for their 5th offensive series of the afternoon, and their 3rd starting at their own 20-yard line. First half for Okoye. The point that Paul brought up. First half for Okoye against Dallas in the Kansas City win, only 59 yards. Most of his runs came in the second half. And he didn't break off a lot of big runs against the Cowboys. More of the 10 to 15-yard varieties last Sunday.
Well, he's back in the game, and you're going to get to see Christian Okoye all over again.
He's in the backfield with James Saxon. Page goes in motion. 1st and 10 at the 20. Okoye, they try to get him to the outside. Turns the corner for 5, maybe 6 yards. So he's bumped out of bounds at the 26. Olszewski along with Woodruff on that stop.
Just remember now, he is a 4.5 40 man. Now here's the blocking. Jonathan Hayes is getting a block. Stephon Page, Saxon gets a block. Stephon Page, get out of the way, Stephon, because you're not blocking anybody.
Only 42 yards on the ground for the Kansas City Chiefs in the first half. 36 of those belonging to Christian Okoye on 9 carries. But that coming from a team that averages better than 130 yards a game on the ground. Same tandem in the backfield. 2nd and 4 at the 26. Okoye gets the call again. David Little putting down the running back near the 28-yard line.
This is the way Kansas City started out the game. But the difference was, we got somebody injured.
Emil Harry.
But the difference was that they were running the ball more towards the middle of the field, and Pittsburgh stacked it up and stopped them.
We'll be right back to Pittsburgh for the 3rd and 2 situation for Kansas City. It's another sellout crowd at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. They're tending to Emil Harry on the sideline. 3rd and 2 situation. I'm a bit surprised, Paul. They work out of the shotgun. They don't use Okoye on 3rd and 2.
You got him the first 8.
DeBerg with ample time. Finds Carlos Carson. It's complete for a first down. First catch of the day for the 10th-year vet out of LSU. Carnell Lake providing the coverage.
Carlos Carson is in the slot, and Carnell Lake is with him. He takes him to the inside, breaks him outside. Manley is the man that drives off. And now we'll look at the line and why DeBerg had the time. Well, we lost it there. There he is. There's Webster. He's getting the block on Williams. Just super blocking up front. When you get that kind of time to throw the ball, you can find the man that's open.
1st and 10 for the Chiefs, and a very critical early first down as they converted on that 3rd and 2. They've got it at their own 35-yard line, trailing by 13. DeBerg with a pump fake. Buying time, Okoye there over the middle. Oh, wait. And put down in a hurry by David Little after a 4-yard gain on the reception. That is not an easy task.
Little play-action pass, and I can promise you that Okoye was not the primary target.
Cleveland with a touchdown. Finally gets on the board at home. Cincinnati regaining the lead before halftime at Riverfront. Paul, we'll see Atlanta next Sunday as we'll be in Atlanta for the Buffalo Bills contest. Right now Atlanta trailing by 10 at New Orleans.
The Bills are hot.
Okoye, 2nd and 6 carry. Breaking tackles for a gain of 5 to the 44-yard line. Finally, David Little wrapped his arms around Okoye. He is so tough for one individual to bring down, though.
Mike Webster has been was such an impact player here, but look at Webster now. He is on Willis, and look at the blocking. You see how he's got his left arm hooked in there? Once he gets that arm in there and his body gets you turned, there's just no way you can get rid of him.
And look at the way he carried out the block all the way 3-4 yards down past the line of scrimmage.
Well, he runs in and out of the huddle. He runs everywhere. He's running when he's in his car.
He's a leader by example. As DeBerg is throwing on 3rd and short, he completes it for another first down. Pete Manley gets it this time down to the 48-yard line. They were up against Rod Woodson on that side, getting help from Thomas Everett. Short drop that time by DeBerg.
I don't know if this is a busted play or not, but Manley is here. He goes down just that short step. All he wants to do is get the first down. Woodson's there, Everett's there, but there's just no chance because the ball is on target. And this, again, when you have time to throw, when DeBerg has the time to go back, take his drop, take his set, and deliver the ball, he's fine. When he has to run around back there, it's all over.
1st and 10 for DeBerg on the play action, going deep, looking for Stephon Page against Woodruff. Did he get it? Yes, it's complete to the 10-yard line.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't think DeBerg in his entire life has thrown a better pass than this. Watch Stephon Page. I'm serious. Watch where he puts this ball. Woodruff has no chance to get it. The only man that has a chance is Page. And he makes that catch and keeps his legs in bounds. Look where the ball is. Woodruff has got perfect coverage, but the ball is so far to the outside that Woodruff has no chance to get it. Page does.
Great concentration by Stephon Page as well.
Oh, maybe not the greatest pass. Well, maybe, yeah, I like it.
37 yards on the reception. 1st and goal, just inside the 10. Okoye up the middle with flags on the play. Reaches the 6-yard line. Flags as soon as they snap the ball. Did the defense line up offside? No. Procedure against the offense.
Dumb penalty.
Illegal motion, 86 offense, first down.
In the first half, Kansas City had the ball inside the 30-yard line. In fact, inside the 25 of Pittsburgh, but got hit by a couple of key penalties.
Well, this one is only a 5-yard deal, but Okoye is limping off the field. That isn't the way he runs.
Penalty was called to the wide receiver, Emil Harry, his 3rd year from Stanford. Steve DeBerg just reaching a milestone. 2,000 career completion. In the eye for one of the few times today. DeBerg on the deep drop. Flares it under the screen. It's Herman Hurd breaking the first tackle, breaking another. Inside the 10, out of bounds at the 9, near the 8-yard line. Perseverance paid off.
Just keeping your feet moving. Getting upfield, Herman Hurd. Greg Lloyd, number 95, the linebacker out there, has this thing diagnosed perfectly. He breaks through the wall, and here he is in a position to make the tackle, does not wrap his arms around it. David Little, number 50, misses the tackle, and Hurd picks up 7.
That's 7 straight completions now for Steve DeBerg. 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line. Kansas City looking for their first touchdown of the day. Play action. DeBerg with plenty of time into the end zone. Touchdown, Manley. Kansas City finally gets it into the end zone.
What a tremendous fake. We have an injured player down on the field, and that's Gerald Williams, number 98 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, their nose tackle. But DeBerg made a great fake, Joel, and he had actually 2 choices out there. He could have thrown the ball to Alfredo Roberts, number 87, but he saw Manley in the end zone. There's Steve DeBerg. That was an excellent call. Great fake. And he's happy.
He likes it just a little bit. I still can't understand, though, why the Detroit Lions gave up on Pete Manley. A good receiver and outstanding punt returner.
Here's the fake right now, just DeBerg. When he goes out there, look, there's no one there. Now, he throws to Manley for the touchdown, but DeBerg knows, I have it. Thrown away. No chance to intercept it. But he also had Roberts shorter. Here comes Manley. Coming all the way across the field from the other side. Look at this. Is he open?
No help for Woodson on that one.
No. And no chance.
Usually when they come across the middle like that, especially with so little room to work with, you see some help from one of the other defensive backs, one of the safeties. But they didn't come there that time for Rod Woodson. A touchdown for Pete Manley. We'll be right back for the extra point trial with the Chiefs getting their first TD of the day. Welcome back to Three Rivers Stadium. Good news, the injured Steeler, Gerald Williams, up and over to the sideline on his own. I'm Joel Meyers along with Paul Maguire. Nick Lowry on the extra point try. Hoping to bring the Chiefs back within 6, and he does exactly that. So now it's 16-10, Pittsburgh leading Kansas City with 11 minutes and 1 second left in the third quarter. And Nick Lowry with that extra point adds to his longest active streak in the NFL of 188 straight.
I saw him in the lobby before the game. Lowry had one of those headsets on. Listen, I asked him what he was listening to. I think he was listening to golf on radio. He says there's a lot of dead time in there.
Join us next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern. We'll be with Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson for NFL Live, and then we'll send it out to the ballpark for the 1 o'clock kickoffs. Indianapolis, Miami, Seattle, and Kansas City, or Cleveland, Tampa Bay in the first half of our doubleheader. And in the second half, Cincinnati and the Raiders, or some of you will see the Steelers at Mile High Stadium in Denver. Such an important game for these two teams because both come in at 3-4 at the midway point of the season. And especially Pittsburgh, because they're in such a tight division to begin with, the AFC Central. They come into only a game out of first place at 3-4. They could finish the first 8 at 4-4 with the way they started the first 2, Paul, by being outscored 92-10. I think they'd feel pretty good about themselves.
They really do. You know, Chuck Noll has taken an awful lot of heat here. But again, the first time that we did this team, we asked Chuck Noll about, you know, people wanting his head, and he said, hey, it's still a game of blocking and tackling.
Woodson, the lone deep back. The high one is a very short one. Woodson will take it to the 20. Didn't fair catch that one. Trying to get the outside. Running out of racing room. He's across the 30 to the 35. Almost looked like a short punt. It's a good field position for the Steelers.
You know, you mentioned something, fair catch in a kickoff. You're allowed to fair catch a kickoff, and he could have done that.
Cincinnati leading by 5. As Esiason has thrown another touchdown pass in that game. Green Bay with their first lead of the day over Detroit. Brister in the offense on the field for the first time in the second half. Outstanding field position to their own 35-yard line. Whitestone goes in motion. Looks like there's a little bit of movement on the line. No flags, though. Hodge across the 37. Gets a gain of 2. Hodge, the leading ground gainer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first half of play with better than 70 yards.
And I can guarantee you the Pittsburgh Steelers are not changing their game plan. I mean, it worked effectively in the first half. They didn't get the touchdowns. They got enough field goals in there, but they're moving the ball, and they know they can. And the most important thing, they're controlling the clock.
2nd and 8. Better than 10 minutes left in the third. Hodge and Williams stay in the backfield behind Bubby Brister. Quick out for Lips, has the cushion, and has the catch at the 43-yard line. Worked on the cornerback, Albert Lewis.
There is a cushion out there, Joel, but the problem is Chris Martin, number 57, the linebacker, see him coming out. Now, the angle that he takes, I'd like to see that one more time, because the angle that he takes, there's no way he can get to the ball. If he takes a shorter angle, straight out, he may be in line to intercept the ball. Watch 57 Martin. Now, see how deep he's coming? If he goes shorter, now he's in front of Lips. Because the ball isn't that high, he has a chance of picking it off.
So you want him to move straight to the sideline.
Directly across.
3rd and 3. The snap was right to Merrill Hodge. A great fake by Brister. They're very close to the first down marker. Did Brister ever carry out the fake well? The snap from the center, Dawson, went right to the running back, Hodge.
Yeah, but Hodge is open. He runs into his own man, the center. Dawson, watch this here. Watch 63. Here's Merrill Hodge. Dawson tackled him. Now he gets a block for making the block on Maz, and he gets a tackle. Here's Bubby carrying a fake out. Now he carries it out like the ball's over his head. But Hodge could still be running down the middle of the field, but he ran into his own man, Dawson.
See if the gadget worked for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they are just short of the first down marker by about an inch or two.
This is one of the rare things in pro football where a center is going to punt while they're booing this. Where a center not only gets some credit for a block, but also for a tackle on the same play, and it wasn't an interception or a fumble.
This could be the kind of situation, though, Paul, with them punting on 4th and an inch outside of their own 45, where Kansas City may be able to gain the momentum, take it away from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, but here's one thing. See, I agree that you should go for it, but here's the other thing. You've got one of the better punters. Kansas City has momentum. Put them all the way back as far as you can.
Newsom hanging up a high one, but a short one. Manley calling for the fair catch and has it near the 20-yard line. So Kansas City, when we come back, we'll start with it for the 4th time today at their own 20-yard line, trailing by only 6. The Kansas City Chiefs getting ready to take it over for the second time in the second half. Their first drive, a very productive one, as they've outgained the Pittsburgh Steelers for the early portion of the second half by 82 yards. Their last TD drive covered 80 yards. They had to do 5 more, though, because of a 5-yard penalty. Play action again for DeBerg, and a wide-open Hurd drops the ball. Play action so effective today. Now, let's look back at that fake by Brister and the run by Hodge.
All right, the fake is there. Number 63 is Dawson. Watch this. He gets his block outside. Salamua goes outside, but he goes back and he tackles Hodge. And the only guy that was close was Deron Cherry, some 10 yards downfield. This play might come back to haunt everybody on Pittsburgh's side.
And on 4th and an inch, if Bubby Brister is healthy, got a feeling that may change the mind of Chuck Noll about possibly going for it on 4th and an inch, because he'd probably go with his quarterback sneak. 2nd and 10. The ball still at the 20-yard line. They shift the tight end. There's Jonathan Hayes. They put the other tight end in motion. Their ace offense. Okoye going nowhere. Everett on the run support in a big, big way.
Well, you better take your hat off to Everett, and he is one of the toughest safeties in the game, and he comes up and puts his head in to Okoye. Watch how they string it out, the defense of Pittsburgh, all the way down the line, and here comes Everett. Watch his head. Down underneath, hits him right in the shins, and down he goes. Tremendous play by that young man right there.
He beat the block of the motion man, the tight end, and that was Alfredo Roberts. Just took him aside and then made the tackle. Chiefs, 4 of 6 in third down conversions. 3rd and 10 at the 20-yard line. DeBerg on the shovel pitch. He goes to McNair. He gets the block to the outside. He's got the first down across the 35. High stepping his way in front of the Steelers bench to the 40. Took a long time to develop, but it certainly worked.
Pittsburgh ran this play twice in the first half. The little shovel pass. It's the safest pass because if they drop the ball, it's an incomplete pass. But look at the blocking. McNair, once he gets to the outside, he gets a screen block down by one of the wide receivers. I didn't catch the number, but McNair stays in bounds, gets the ball out to the 40-yard line, first down, and here come the Chiefs again.
They've got it out to the 40-yard line with 8 minutes, 17 seconds left in the third. They're only down by 6.
And Cleveland in the third quarter just went ahead of Houston 14-10.
Hayes, the tight end, goes in motion. Saxon going airborne to get over a would-be tackler across the 45 to the 46. Nice run by James Saxon, second-year man out of San Jose State, a 6th-round draft choice last year, and one of the most pleasant developments for the Kansas City Chiefs last season. Well, Paul, you just mentioned that the Cleveland Browns got a score. Houston leading by 3 in the third at Cleveland.
They came back.
Cincinnati now starting to pull away from Tampa Bay. And everything the same in Green Bay and New Orleans. 2nd and 4. Play action again to Berg, and Stephon Page goes to the opposite side. It's complete. Pete Manley for a first down to the 44-yard line. The opposite side, though, I saw a wide-open Stephon Page.
Stephon Page was wide open for just a moment, but DeBerg saw Woodruff come in, so he comes back to this side of Manley. The interesting thing about this pass pattern, there are only 2 receivers out. Woodson just can't stay with Manley. Manley takes him deep, then comes back to the ball. Now, here's where you saw Stephon Page. Look at here. Here's where he was wide open, but DeBerg reads the safety coming over, who is behind Stephon right there. You don't see him, so he goes right back to Manley, who's coming back to him. Super call.
1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 45-yard line. Kansas City looking like a different team completely offensively in the second half. More play action for Steve DeBerg, looking deep, going for Stephon Page, and it's knocked away by Woodruff and Everett. I thought he was going to make another one of those circus catches.
Well, Marty Schottenheimer told me about Everett. He said this is one of the toughest kids you'll ever see in the secondary, and that's number 27. DeBerg's looking for Stephon Page down. Woodruff is on him. But watch this. Watch 27 Everett. He's not going for an interception. He wants a piece of Stephon Page. All that play action passes, all the passes that DeBerg is completing are off of play action to either Saxon or Okoye.
2nd and 10. The Pittsburgh 45. Emil Harry in motion. Okoye on the carry. Gets the block to the outside. Gets the first down. There he goes down the sideline. Inside the 30. Bumped out the 26 with another Kansas City first down.
Joel, I told you when he runs wide like that, he doesn't have the power. I'm not talking about the speed. Here's where Okoye shows you speed. They cave everything to the inside. Now watch Okoye. Once he gets his shoulders square, now look at the speed. That's Woodruff trying to catch him, but that's the speed.
1st and 10.
Kansas City's got it inside the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 26. They've already got one touchdown in the second half on an 8-yard pass to Pete Manley. We're at the midway point of the 3rd quarter, and the Chiefs with all the momentum headed in their direction now. DeBerg looking to throw. It's for Page. And a sure-handed tackle on the corner by Rod Woodson. Short completion to the 23.
Steve DeBerg is a different quarterback the second half than he was the first half. Reason? The time he has to throw the ball. The reason for that? Obviously the offensive line blocking, but it's play action. They're keying Okoye so much that even when he goes towards him, it freezes linebackers, and they can't get back in coverage.
DeBerg with the identical numbers that he finished with last week. He is now 17 of 22 in the passing department. Okoye trying to get to the outside. Inside the 20, diving ahead. Short of the first down marker, though. Just short of the 17. He needed to go to the 16.
Jonathan Hayes got a tremendous block on Brian Hinkle, number 53, and turned him back to the inside, which enabled Okoye to get to the outside. The size of this guy.
Okoye over 70 yards on the ground now. The first half, as we look at Jonathan Hayes, who got the good block to the outside, the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Okoye, 9 carries, 36 yards. In the first half already, though, in the second half, 5 carries for 37. Big 3rd down. 3rd and a little less than 2. Go to Okoye, and he pulls his way near the first down marker inside the 16, close to the 15. It'll depend upon the spot with flags in the air.
Okoye was running to his left and ran right up into one of his offensive linemen. There's a holding penalty. Now the Berg's going to have to run play action and throw. But Okoye ran right up into the back of his offensive lineman. Look at this. Jonathan Hayes is trying to get in the fight.
Greg Lloyd for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They're going to use their hands. Number 85 offense. 3rd down.
Maybe that's why he blocked so well the last play. No. All right, Jonathan Hayes, number 85. And on Lloyd right there. There is the holding. Look at the left hand. He's got him by the shirt. And here comes Okoye right up into Hayes' back. And Jonathan Hayes, there's no question of holding. He almost ripped his shirt off.
10-yard penalty on the Chiefs tight end. Brings up a 3rd down, a little bit better than 11. Almost 12 yards. Clock moving, exactly 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Steelers with 6 defensive backs in the game.
And 4 wide receivers in there now for the Kansas City Chiefs for one of the few times this afternoon. And all of a sudden, DeBerg didn't like what he saw when he came up to the line and has to use one of his precious second half timeouts. We'll be right back to Pittsburgh. Temperatures in the mid-60s, and it is a magnificent Indian summer afternoon in Pittsburgh. Don't forget, next Saturday, it's the Breeders' Cup on NBC, starting at 1:30 Eastern. Big third down coming up. The Kansas City Chiefs, they had to use one of their 3 timeouts. Third, close to 12. A little bit better than 11. DeBerg out of the shotgun with flags down. Sidesteps the tackler to the 25, slides down way short of the first down marker. At the 22, David Johnson, the extra defensive back in there, making the hit.
David Johnson. Flag on the play.
Flag was down to the original line, though, and it will go against Pittsburgh. So it'll be another try for Kansas City.
93 defense. Third down.
Is he getting laryngitis, Paul? 97 was called. Aaron Jones.
Got his voice got a little hitch in his get along. So this is a situation where the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive linemen just love it because they can all just get down in their starting blocks and just tee off and aim for DeBerg because DeBerg ran because he had to run. Excellent coverage in the secondary, but he can't run that fast and that far. Here they come.
Ball at 3rd and 7. The ball outside of the 20. Stu stopped right past DeBerg. All they can do is get back to it. First one back there is Keith Willis for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What a costly mistake for Kansas City when they had so much headed in their direction.
Well, they're almost assured a field goal with Lowry, their field goal kicker. Now they end up in a punting position. Watch this ball. Here comes the snap, and it's just to the right of DeBerg. Now, Webster centered the ball to his right, to DeBerg's right. But the question is, was DeBerg looking downfield and not, just planning on the ball being there? He is looking around. Look at the ball goes by. He's not looking at the football. All he had to do was take a half step to his right, and he's there. The other replay even showed it better. Whoops. Pittsburgh made contact.
Still, even with Lowry, they're not close to field goal range.
No.
Ball start. 57 on the center. Hook down.
It's Chris Martin, the linebacker who works on the special teams, called for the penalty.
Doesn't hurt anything.
Goodbird in to punt. The third-year man from Emporia State, Rod Woodson, waiting back at his 12-yard line. And he really turns one over. Heads it towards the sideline. Will it get out of bounds? No, it's into the end zone for a touchback. Almost a great punt by Kelly Goodbird. Cleveland with the lead over the Houston Oilers. And that showdown, that AFC Central showdown at Cleveland Stadium. Cincinnati now pounding Tampa Bay. They look like they're ready to snap that 2-game losing streak. Green Bay with a touchdown to go up by 10. Mike Webster was center for so many years for the Pittsburgh Steelers. In his first season with the Kansas City Chiefs. Get a little mustard on that snap, though. Back to Steve DeBerg.
Well, and he also doesn't even take his helmet off on the sideline. That's tough. That's when you're really tough. See, DeBerg has his helmet off.
First and 10 for the Steelers. Hodge on the reverse. The Stone who drops the ball. Loose inside the 10. Who's got it? It's picked up by the Chiefs. Is that Moss? Yes! Touchdown, Kansas City!
Heads-up play by the defense, but I'm going to tell you right now, Stone had touchdown. There was absolutely nobody over here, and he had a wall of about 6 shirts to run behind and never got the football. You're talking about a 14-point swing in a ball game. I mean, this wall was set up. It was all wide open for him. He had 6 blockers in front of him. Bill Maas, being from Pittsburgh. You think he's happy?
Chiefs are trying to take the lead. For the first time today, Nick Lowry is in for the extra point try. The stunned sellout crowd at Three River Stadium. Lowry sends it towards Cincinnati. And the Chiefs lead it by a point. There's a timeout of the field. 3 minutes and 51 seconds left.
All right, here comes the play back on this side. Stone just misses the handoff. But if you can look up the field, there's nothing but people there. Now, Stone hits it back. Maz picks it up. Brister's there, but that's touchdown. That wall was set up. It was a perfect call. And Stone himself is the man that knocks the ball back towards the end zone. What a turnaround.
That is Maz's second fumble recovery for a touchdown against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Young man from right around this area.
Maz doesn't know. You don't know how to spike it, Maz. You're supposed to spike it down by your feet. He threw it out of the end zone. You can learn how to spike it.
He figured to come back and hit him. Dwight Stone out there on the special teams. Now, if anybody should be able to handle the ball well, it's the former running back, because he made the transition after his first couple of seasons to wide receiver this year.
But Joel, again, the wall was set. What a time to call a reverse, and here was Stone. All he had to do was hold on to the ball and get to the outside, and when they see this thing on their films, he's going to cry.
So the Chiefs are ready to kick it away with Nick Lowry. Rod Woodson, the deep back for Pittsburgh. They want to keep it away from Woodson. It's heading out of bounds inside the 35. Flags into the air.
That's where we'll take it at the 35. That's their option.
First and 10, Pittsburgh. They're on 35-yard line.
Well, we talked to Marty Schottenheimer yesterday. He said, couldn't believe how tough it was in accepting what happened to his special teams last week. He said, as long as I've been in Kansas City, since obviously early in the summer, late in the spring, he said that was the worst week I've had since I moved to Kansas City because of the way the special teams performed last week in that win over Dallas.
Picked off out of bounds.
But see, I don't like this play because what it does, it puts your defense in a tough position. They're at the 35-yard line. Of course, well, all they're saying to Kansas City special teams was, we don't have any confidence in you at all.
No doubt. First and 10 at the 35 for Pittsburgh. Warren Williams on the carry, getting a yard, maybe two, and that is all. Bill Maz. First one in there to take care of the play. Maz, a Pro Bowl starter in each of the last two seasons out of the University of Pittsburgh.
Well, here's a situation now where Pittsburgh Steelers and Bubby Brister don't get greedy. I know Bubby wants to make something happen. But you can't do it by yourself.
They're facing a 2nd and 9 at the 36. Brister looking to buy time. Back the other way to Stone. Did he hang on? No, he dropped the ball. Tough sequence for Dwight Stone, and Bubby Brister hit at the end of the play again.
Well, I think the moving around hurt him. When we talked to him yesterday, he said, you know, if I can just stand in there, I'm fine. I have a brace on there, but it really is tender, and they really locked that left leg up on him. But that time, he did a tremendous job to make something happen. Watch the movement of Brister. Now, remember, he's got a brace. 3 weeks ago, he was knocked out of the game, leg injury, but watch this. And see how he comes down? Now he's hit, and he's on that left leg, and that's the thing that hurt him. That was Neil Smith, number 9, that was in on him.
He took a pretty good shot from Salamu in the first half.
You bet he did.
3rd and 9. The ball still at the 36. Brister out of the shotgun. Thomas is there. He's down again. A sack for Derek Thomas. Back at the 22.
Thomas is down. He ran right by Greg Wolfley. Wasn't even slowed down.
He ever fast.
Left of your screen, you're going to see him come into the picture. Wolfley is 73, and Thomas, he gets a piece of him. Thomas is already in Brister's pocket. What did Marty say about him? Fast, fast, fast.
Fastest player he has ever seen at that position. Pete Manley waiting for the punt from Harry Newsom. Has this game ever turned around? Newsom sending out a spiral. Fairly good one for Newsom. Returnable time, though. Manley weaving his way across the 40. Runs right in to Carnell Lake at the 40-yard line. 49-yard punt for Harry Newsom. And a nifty return by Pete Manley to give the Kansas City Chiefs their best field position to start a drive so far this afternoon. Quite a turnaround in the second half for Kansas City. Taking into consideration there's still 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the third quarter. They've almost reached their output of the entire first 30 minutes of play.
Minus 21 yards, and that's that fumble. It goes back to the goal line and ends up in a touchdown.
Okoye and Saxon in the backfield behind Steve DeBerg. Kansas City operating with a lead. They're on top 17-16. Okoye near the original line, and that is all. Strung out very well by the defensive front of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next Sunday, join us for another NFL doubleheader on NBC. It all starts with Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson at 12:30 Eastern. Some of you will see Indianapolis, Miami, Seattle, and Kansas City, or Cleveland and Tampa Bay in the first half of the doubleheader. And in the second game, the Steelers will be at Mile High Stadium to take on the Broncos, while others will see the Raiders at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. So check your local listings for the games in your area.
That last play was a classic example of Okoye not being able to get his shoulders square up the field. He's really not effective going sideways.
Lost a yard, gets another delay, gets to the outside after starting up the middle, angled it up to the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 for Okoye. Greg Lloyd in on the stop for Pittsburgh.
But there is a big difference when he's coming straight at you. Here comes the ground level of Okoye. Now see his shoulders are square up the field. From here he can even make a move. Little's getting blocked by Baldinger on number 77. Okoye comes back and picks up some yardage. He picked up about 7 yards because he lost almost 2 on first down.
Last week 33 carries, 170 yards. Third and 6. The ball just outside of the Kansas City 44. Will they waste this outstanding field position? We'll see. DeBerg almost intercepted by Lake as he went for Clarence Weathers, and the receiver just wasn't open.
He went for Weathers. Manley was there. You know, this is a short hitch-up pattern, but I don't believe that both receivers should be in the same place because Lake is a man that can cover both of them. To the outside, you will see Weathers there, and right to his right is Manley.
Goodburn in to punt it for Kansas City. Gets into another good one. Woodson will take it back to the 9-yard line. McNair missed the tackle. Could have had him behind the 10. They take care of him across the 15. As Woodson goes down to the arms of Danny Copeland. Near the 19-yard line. A 46-yard punt by Kelly Goodburn. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, as intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the NFL is prohibited. This game is property of the National Football League. Also, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers, all rights reserved. We've got a penalty flag on that last play.
Legal man downfield. They're going to make him kick it again.
Wouldn't you? With the way things have gone for the Kansas City special teams.
With Woodson downfield, yes, I make him kick it again.
Woodson, one of the best punt returners in the NFL. And now he's going to take a break. I think Woodson asked for that, too, as Derek Hill is going to come in, the rookie from Arizona. And let's not forget, Woodson separated or actually dislocated his left shoulder a couple of weeks ago in a game at Cleveland. A big win for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a 17-7 victory. So Hill will try it this time as Goodburn is back at his own 25-yard line. Good pressure on the punter. He gets it away, though. And it's a wobbler off the side of his foot. Headed out of bounds outside the 30-yard line. The official will put it out at the 35. Third straight time in the second half that the Steelers will start at their own 35. Cleveland now with their biggest lead of the day, up by 11. And New England has tied up Indianapolis.
35 yards.
Atlanta is hanging tough against New Orleans.
Only 24 seconds left to go in his third quarter.
Steelers down. Their third series of the second half. Brister with a pump fake. Going deep. He's got Lips against Lewis. And it's taken into the 15. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Beauty from Brister to Lips, covering 64 yards.
Absolutely right on target, but Albert Lewis makes a rookie mistake. They tell you one thing, if you can't make the interception, knock the ball down. Albert Lewis is going for the interception. Goes right through his arms. Lips catches it, touchdown.
Anderson gives the Steelers a 6-point lead. The tables have turned once again in Pittsburgh with only 10 seconds left in the third quarter. How quickly we have seen the momentum shift in this game.
And look at here, you see Lips to the inside. Albert Lewis has got perfect coverage on him. Again, where history makes mistakes. He's trying for the interception. What he should do is just knock the ball away. If you can't make that interception, you knock the ball down. What a great catch by Lips. It shows you total concentration, because you had to believe those arms were in his way, were in his eyes. Look at Bubby. Why not? Why not? Why not? Yeah!
There's Albert Lewis, the defensive back who is trying to keep up with Lewis Lips. That is the longest completion for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Bubby Brister this year. The second touchdown reception of the season for Lewis Lips. His 7th catch of the day. That is the third time this year now Lewis Lips has gone over 100 yards receiving.
Well, I'm not going to talk after the fact, but Bubby Brister said yesterday we're going to try to do is get the double on one side, get the tight end to kind of clear out the middle, and then if we get Lips one-on-one on either side, we're going deep.
McNair and Copeland waiting for the kickoff from Anderson. Hard to believe that was blown away by the wind and blown off the tee, because almost no wind whatsoever today at Three Rivers Stadium. Anderson with a line drive effort. It'll be taken by yard deep by Copeland. And Copeland knocked down across the 20 at the 24 by Tyrone Stowe, reserve linebacker for the Steelers on their special teams. That's the end of the third quarter of play at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. And if the fourth quarter is anything like the third, don't move. We'll be right back to Pittsburgh. Lewis Lips with a 64-yard touchdown reception, working one-on-one against the cornerback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Albert Lewis.
And Albert Lewis just thought he had interception all the way, and unless you're absolutely positive, you knock it down.
Okoye and Hurd in the backfield on 1st and 10 from the 24. Play action for DeBerg. Wide open. It's Page past the 40 with room to move. Page inside the 35. Tripped up. Fumbling inside the 30. Mad scramble around the 25-yard line. I think the Chiefs got it. Yes, they did. Stephon Page getting help from Herman Hurd on a 50-yard reception.
You talk about finding the open man. Stephon Page cleared out, and what's that play action again? It's all play action here. Take a look again, Christian Okoye. Look at everybody's jammed inside. Little, number 50, never gets deep enough, and here comes Stephon Page down the sideline. Now, there was a fumble down there, and he gets it back, but the ball did come out before he hit the ground, and it was a fumble. But instead of trying to fall on the ball, Greg Lloyd tried to pick it up.
Hurd knocked it right back into the arms of Stephon Page. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. Outside the 26, flags in the air. It'll be an offensive penalty coming up. Dead ball foul.
You know, we're seeing some mental errors, and I really mean this. The one by Albert Lewis should have knocked the ball down, okay? And this one by Lloyd on the fumble. The ball is down on the ground. You fall on the ball. Get the ball back. They're not paying you to run with it. They're paying you to pick up the ball. Now here's the coverage, and Albert Lewis is on Lewis Lips. And it is excellent coverage. Take a look at him. He's running stride for stride with him. When he goes to the inside, there's where he makes the mistake.
Longest pass against the Kansas City Chiefs this year belongs to Louis Lips of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's now 1st and 15. The ball outside the 31. Okoye gets it. Weaving his way to the backfield. Gets a cutback block. Trying to step on his way away from Woodruff. Woodruff stays there inside the 30. Around the 27. Hanging on until he can get some help.
I told you how tough Everett was and is. Well, watch this. Woodruff is going to hang on to Okoye. Okoye slips and he's going to move to the outside. I like the way he moved the ball back over to the right-hand side. But watch here. Here's Woodruff. But watch Everett hit him. Bang! I mean, that is a lick, folks.
Everett with the stick. A lot of credit, though, to Dwayne Woodruff for hanging on. Kansas City has just used their second time out in the second half very early in the fourth quarter. 13 minutes, 47 seconds left in the fourth, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Remember I showed you where Albert Lewis made the mistake by trying to intercept. Now watch what happens with Greg Lloyd, number 95. Here comes Stephon Page down the field. He's hit. The ball is fumbled. Now fall on the ball. There it is right there. But Herman Hurd comes in and knocks the ball away right back to Stephon Page.
Second and long coming up for the Chiefs. DeBerg in the flat, wide open. James Saxon inside the 20. Moving close to the first down marker. They push him out of bounds just inside the 17-yard line. Greg Lloyd, the outside linebacker, making the hit. Play action has worked about 99% of the time today for Steve DeBerg. Cleveland, that critical matchup in the AFC Central Division, still hanging on to that 11-point lead at home. Cincinnati now pounding Tampa Bay after it was a close game in the first half. Third and short coming up. It'll be third and less than a yard. Don't forget, though, the latter portion of the game, Kansas City has already used 2 of their 3 second-half timeouts. DeBerg for the first down. Inside the 15 to the 14.
I'm going to tell you, it was short yardage, but it was a great call because look at DeBerg just fell down trying to back up into the huddle. But it was the reason it's a great call because everybody on the Steelers, 11 guys are looking at Okoye, and there's DeBerg looking at his arm, checking his plays. Marty Schottenheimer, my old teammate. Chuck Noll, my old coach.
First downs all even now. That's the first half that was essentially dominated by the Pittsburgh Steelers offensively. First and 10, just inside the 15-yard line for Kansas City. Page, the motion man. Another play-action fake. DeBerg to a wide-open Stephon Page. Page getting a block inside the 5, all the way down to the 2. And that was the tight end. Alfredo Roberts helping out downfield.
Well, I'll tell you what, not only did he catch the ball and run well with it, he put a move on Carnell Lake that is picturesque. Watch this. Everybody's after Okoye. Here comes Stephon Page. That shows you the fake. Now here's the throw back to the outside. Watch the move on Carnell Lake. Bink, little dip back to the inside. Lake goes down. Little comes over, makes the tackle. They got the ball at the 2-yard line. But that fake that we showed you before the pass completion just gives you an idea how Pittsburgh keys on Christian Okoye.
Stephon Page, who just took that pass in, the injured Chief. Better than 100 yards on the receiving end of 5 passes from Steve DeBerg today. Things have really opened up in the second half at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Both teams came out today saying that they were making that commitment to the ground game. They wanted to run the ball. It was going to be an old-fashioned game. Well, they've gotten away from that game plan a little bit in the second half.
You know what's really scary, Joel, in the first half of this ball game? The Pittsburgh Steelers controlled this game for 29 minutes and about 29 and a half minutes. They went into prevent defense and let the Kansas City Chiefs get downfield to get a field goal.
Steelers still lead by 6, but that lead in jeopardy, to say the least. It's first and goal for the Chiefs as Page making it on his own over to the Chiefs bench. He's got his first 100-yard game of the season, and there's still 12 and a half minutes left in the fourth quarter. What a day it has been for Steve DeBerg, though. DeBerg coming off a sensational effort last week when he was 17 of 22. He is so far today 20 of 26 for 274 yards with a touchdown and also one interception. That was on a deflection. Okoye behind Saxon. 3 tight end formation. Okoye stopped just short of the goal line.
David Little stuffed them. You know what DeBerg was saying, though? We asked him about Okoye. I just love him in the backfield. He takes all the heat off of me. They don't even pay attention to me. Here it comes. And watch number 50 fill this hole. David Little. Here he comes. Here comes Okoye. And here comes Little. That's a stalemate.
I just love the line by Mike Webster earlier in the week when he said there's fear on both sides of the ball when Christian carries it. Even the guys on offense want to get out of the way. 2nd and goal. Inside the 1. 3 tight end formation. Okoye over the top. Did he get in? No. Stopped just inches short of the goal line. He can get up into the air too.
Then he carries it again. This defensive line, watch this. You talk about penetration, first of all, by the defensive line, and then get back up inside. Was that David Little again? I think it was, number 50. He stuffed him again. That's 2 in a row. You're 2 up on Okoye, David.
Little, one of the real emotional leaders in his 9th year from Florida. 3rd goal. Inches away from the goal line. DeBerg says, I can't hear my own signal. Sellout crowd at Three Rivers in the game for one of the few times this afternoon.
Sorry, Joel, I can't hear you. And the referee is telling him, hey, let's get on with it.
Very interesting call by Tom Dooley, the referee. A very subjective call.
Boy, is that a tough call to make. And I mean to tell you,
we have yet to see that this season.
Schottenheimer cannot be happy about this. He's down inside the 24-yard line, and I'm going to tell you now that they're going to take Okoye out of the ball game. Look at Marty. He's going to take Okoye out of the ball game and go to their pass formation.
I don't blame the Chiefs head coach one bit.
No, not for being mad. I mean, DeBerg just turned around and told him, said, wait a minute, I can't hear anything.
Plus, there's got to be consistency in the call.
10-32.
They're going to be putting 15 seconds back on the scoreboard clock with 10:32 left in the 4th quarter. That is the first time we've seen that call against the offense.
Now, I wonder what he's going to do now. If DeBerg can't hear, that just entices the fans to do it even more.
Trips to one side. Weathers, Perry, and Page the same side for DeBerg. McNair the only one in the backfield. Page going in motion on 3rd and goal outside the 5. Pocket holds up for DeBerg into the corner for Weathers. Intercepted by Woodson. There's a flag down, though, on the opposite side of the field.
And Dalton Hall, number 35, is complaining. And Hall's coming out. He thinks he's happy. It's going to be called against Kansas City. We'll find out. Hall will tell you. Yep, it's against Kansas City. Personal foul. That's 15 yards. Well, we've seen some change of events, but here comes DeBerg.
Foul, 76 after the play. First down.
He was trying to throw the ball to Clarence Weathers, and Rod Woodson just stepped in and stole the ball away, and then there's a 15-yard penalty on top of it. DeBerg is not happy because of the crowd noise, number 1, and it is the first time that we saw that penalty.
Huge stand defensively by the Pittsburgh Steelers. They get the help, though, of that 5-yard penalty down at the goal line.
Lutz is beside himself.
He was called for the personal foul.
And Marty is trying to calm these players down. You know, don't lose sight of what they're trying to do because they're only down by 6 points and there's 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Here it comes.
The interception, he stepped out of bounds. Touchback.
That was a good call in the end zone. Woodson was definitely out of bounds for a touchback.
Well, what they were saying is, what they were looking at is the fact that Woodson came across the goal line. He stepped on the line, so he's back in the playing field. They tackled him back in, which should have been a safety, but he has already stepped out of bounds right there. Now, he's out of bounds there, but he actually comes across the line.
Hodge on the carry, stacked up after a gain of close to 3. That was the 10th penalty against the Kansas City Chiefs. 80 yards in assessments. Marty Schottenheimer viewing that play.
This is after the interception.
Almost a look of what next. Pittsburgh Steelers have had the ball 4 times in the second half, and each one of their drives has started at their own 35-yard line. Superb field position. 2nd and 8. The ball just outside of the 37. Brister taking plenty of time to get under his center. And now going deep for Derek Hill. He's got it inside the 35, down to the 32. And that was an interesting play because it almost looked like he stepped out of bounds before he made the reception.
Well, first of all, Brister looks to his right for Lewis Lips. Then he comes back. J.C. Pearson is on Hill. Watch what Hill does. It's a stop and a go. And right here, and then he goes beyond Pearson. Well, look where the ball is. Right on the line.
He was out of bounds before he caught the ball. He came back in right there. He was out of bounds up about 6-8 yards further.
They should review it, and they're going to do it. And it's an excellent call, Joel. You cannot go out of bounds and come back in and catch the football.
We may have another opportunity to look at it again, but I believe about 10 yards before he caught the ball, his left foot was out of bounds.
All right, here it is here. It's before this that it happens. It's back upfield. You're right, about 10 yards back upfield. And they may even say inconclusive. I haven't heard that yet today, but we usually do. All right, here it is here. Here's Hill. Now watch his left leg.
Right after he does the stop and go.
Not there.
Next step.
Right there. He's out of bounds. If they show that one, he is out of bounds.
The instant replay official today is Bill Parkinson. He has been busy.
Very busy. In that little cubicle.
After further review, the play will stand as called. First down.
Out of bounds at about the 41.
Well, obviously they're not looking at that replay there. They looked at the other one, and he was out of bounds.
1st and 10 at the 32. Lips is in motion. Into Williams. Spins inside the 30 to the 29-yard line for a gain of 3. Cleveland still in control in the 4th at home as Chicago is now pulled away from the L.A. Rams. They're about to suffer their 3rd straight setback. And Cincinnati ready to snap that 2-game losing streak.
I would think it's been snapped. Look at here.
Atlanta coming from behind down in New Orleans. 2nd and 7. The ball to the Chiefs' 29-yard line. 8.5 minutes left in the 4th. Warren Williamson on the carry. Blocking out in front. Maintaining his balance and picking up the 1st down near the 21-yard line. We're at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. I'm Joel Meyers along with Paul Maguire. We have seen a little bit of everything in the second half of play. After the first 30 minutes were owned by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Williams gets up. He's hobbling a little bit after that last carry. Pittsburgh with a 6-point lead with 8:10 left in the 4th. Kansas City, don't forget, has only 1 timeout left. Pittsburgh still with a full complement of 3. They're already banged up at the tailback position. They're missing their starter, Tim Worley. He's one of the two inactives today. They've got the first down by half the length of the football. Now they miss Williams. Means Rodney Carter's the next one to come in.
And I'll bet you that Steve DeBerg, with their offense, 95% of their plays are off, or pass plays are off of play action.
Rodney Carter, the replacement. Their leading receiver coming in today. He no longer owns that distinction, though, because Lewis Lips already has 7 grabs on the afternoon. Carter's a third-year man out of Purdue. We had a lot of fun with the Boilermaker right before the start of the game, talking with the Chiefs radio announcer Lenny Dawson.
He's never aged. I don't understand that.
First and 10 outside of the 21. Hodge in motion. Play action. Brister, do you believe he's trying to get outside? Get out of bounds, Bubby. Thomas with the shove. Don't forget, those two got into an altercation in the first half.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. Here's the situation. The only thing about it is that Derek Thomas hit him before he goes out of bounds. But it was obvious that Brister is running out of bounds. There was no reason for Derek Thomas to hit him the way he hits him. Watch Brister. Now, I think he misses the handoff to Carter because there's no play designed with his leg. Now, see, he's going out of bounds. This is wrong. There should be a flag on this play because Brister was slowing up to go out of bounds. And I tell you, the reason they didn't call it is because he wasn't out of bounds yet.
Back at the 22-yard line after they hit by Derek Thomas. And the Steelers now use their first time out of the second half with 7 minutes and 42 seconds left. Another look at that play just before we broke away as Brister tried to get out of bounds.
Well, first he missed the handoff to Carter, who ran the wrong way. But when you see Brister, now watch, he'll square up to the sidelines. He's just trying to slow down, and Thomas just shoves him out of bounds. There should have been a call there. And that's Dooley there, and I think Dooley blew the call down here. They should have been able to stop the crowd to slow him down to give a warning.
An incredibly courageous effort by the young man you're looking at right now, Bubby Brister, the fourth-year quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Missed only 2 weeks with a severely sprained left knee. Second, a little bit better than 10 with the ball at the 22. Carter can't get out of the backfield. Knifing through to make the play was Leonard Griffin. Griffin was on Carter almost as soon as he touched the ball. Lost back to the 24. Loss of a couple of yards. It'll bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and close to a dozen. Late stages of that divisional matchup between Cleveland and Houston. Two teams tied for the lead. Cincinnati will maintain at least a share of that lead. They'll raise their record to 5-3, snapping that 2-game losing streak. And New Orleans gets a touchdown to regain the lead over Atlanta. Out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to each side for Bubby Brister. Brister for Hill. Had to throw it away with a lot of pressure coming. Pearson was coming out of the defensive secondary on the blitz.
They had Pearson and Copeland, the 2 backs. We saw that earlier, some 3 hours ago in the first quarter, when they sent the 2 defensive backs at him. And Brister did the smart thing. He threw it away. All they want is a field goal.
Gary Anderson 3 for 3 on the afternoon with field goals from 41, 47, and 29 yards out. This is going to be a 41-yard attempt out of the hold of the punter, Harry Newsom. It's on its way. Plenty of distance. Does it have the direction? No, it's wide left. That would have given the Steelers a 9-point lead. Instead, it stays at 6.
Derek Thomas was right in his face.
A big miss by Anderson. His first of the day was 6:47 left in the 4th. Gary Anderson just missed a 41-yarder before we broke away, and it could have been the game ball because Kansas City's only got 1 timeout left.
They still have about, 6:47 to play.
And they're only trailing by 6. That could have made it a 9-point difference. Okoye looks for the play action. DeBerg seeing the big defensive lineman Willis. It's a sack for the Steelers all the way back at the 15-yard line. One of the few times today they did not bite on the play action fake.
And there's the time that DeBerg should have given the ball to Okoye. I know the other play was called, but Willis didn't read anything, and he just took off and went right for DeBerg.
Willis is putting together a solid season after missing all of last year with a neck injury in his 7th season out of Northeastern. Sack is a loss of 9 yards. 2nd and 19, the ball back at the 15. Movement on the line by Willis. Flags into the air. Could be a free down for DeBerg. It's complete to Herman Hurd across the 20 near the 21.
Yeah, but I think I don't know if it's Balding or not. You talk about ripping somebody's face mask off, a holding penalty. Yeah, there's going to be offside first and then a holding penalty.
Play the down over.
Offside, defense. Offensive holding, 76. Penalties offset, it's 2nd down.
They got John Auld on the other side. I saw a holding penalty also on this side.
So they'll replay a 2nd down and 19. The ball to the 15-yard line. Chiefs are trailing by 6.
But one thing about play-action passes, though, Joel, for the offensive line, that means that they must hold their blocks just a little bit longer than normal. That time, Baldinger just didn't block Willis at all, and he got the play before and got in on DeBerg.
DeBerg on 2nd and 19, going deep, looking for Stephon Page again, coming back on it. What a reception! Takes it in near the 45, and he's down there.
This ball slipped out of DeBerg's hand. I don't think he was hit, and it looked like a punt coming down, and Stephon Page followed it all the way, went right across the field and jumped up and gets the ball. But this ball's coming back. I think you'll see the tail of the ball coming back in like a punt. Here comes DeBerg, and he's going to step up. No, he's not hit. The ball just goes straight up in the air. But watch Stephon Page. He's going right for the ball. Woodruff has no chance. What a great catch.
40 yards on the reception. 1st and 10 now for the Chiefs at the Steelers' 45-yard line. Okoye on the carry, getting the block. Didn't turn it inside. Breaks a tackle outside, inside the 40. Knocked out of bounds near the 38-yard line.
You see David Little came over to get another piece of him. It's good when you meet him head up. You got a chance to.
Is it ever good when you meet him?
No, not really. But it's nicer when you meet him head up. When he has a little angle and he just hits you with that shoulder, David Little goes flying out of bounds. He stops him. Just at the end of this play, number 50, David Little. Koye, watch this. He'll stiff arm here. That's Lake. Now watch this. Bang. There goes Little. Koye steps out of bounds.
Movement on the line. Flags into the air. Okoye on the carry. On 2nd and 3. He's near the 1st down marker, close to the 35-yard line. It was David Fulcher about 3 weeks ago that told us trying to tackle Christian Okoye is like trying to run into a cement wall.
Offsides, defense, number 53, 1st down.
1st down on the penalty yardage. They needed 3, they get 5 due to the penalty to Brian Hinkle. Hinkle's been the starter the last 3 weeks.
Got to find out if Okoye has hit 100 yards yet.
First and 10 for Kansas City. 4 minutes, 56 seconds left. And DeBerg over 300 yards passing. Okoye on the pitch. Gets the block to the outside. Is down to the 25-yard line. He gets 9 on the carry. He's now got 100 yards on the afternoon on 22.
Osevsky makes the tackle, but Everett again, that young man is going to be awfully sore come tomorrow morning because Everett went right to his ankles again. And Everett is, you talk about sticking your head in there. Koye's going out with about a yard to go. Here he comes to the outside. Osevsky, number 92, is going to make the play, make the tackle. But watch 27. Watch where he is. Right down at his legs and thighs. He'll stick his face in there, won't he?
2nd and a yard. Inside the 25. Roberts, the tight end in motion. Saxon on the carry. He's got the 1st down. Squirts up to the 21-yard line. Under 4 minutes left in the 4th quarter. The Steelers leading by 6.
And you know, you're talking about Kansas City Chiefs only having 1 timeout, Joel. it changes the complexion of this drive because they've got to think touchdown more so than field goal. They had the 3 timeouts. Then you can think about field goal and then stopping the clock 3 times, but they can only stop it once and once with the 2 minutes.
Saxon is the single set on 1st and 10. DeBerg on the slant goes to Page, who can't hang on to it. Dwayne Woodruff providing the coverage. That's a final now. Cleveland raising their record to 5-3 as Houston falls to 4-4. And the Bears in the driver's seat up by 10. Cincinnati having a pretty decent second half, I'd say.
Well, I'll tell you what, before we saw it at 49, the last 21 points that Cincinnati scored were on pass plays. Where's Okoye now? Is he 91 yards?
No, he's right at the century mark on 22 carries. 2nd and 10, the ball to the 21. Okoye's got it. He's bottled up inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. Gain of 2. A little bit better than 2. Gerald Williams, the nose tackle, the first one in there on Christian Okoye. Ties the Chiefs record with his 5th 100-yard day. Tying the record held by the late Joe Delaney back in 1981. Critical 3rd down for Kansas City with the clock moving. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. DeBerg out of the shotgun. McNair the only one in the backfield. Trips to the right side. Pocket holds up. DeBerg with plenty of time over the middle. Underthrown. Looking for Emil Harry. And they don't have any options. They need to go for it on 4th down.
Well, again, it's only because of the 2 timeouts that they had taken earlier. And remember another play when they were down there in field goal range when the ball was centered by DeBerg. See, they're not looking. The reason you're going for 4th down here, very simple. If they don't get the 1st down or the touchdown, they still have Pittsburgh deep in their territory. Now, all they need is a touchdown to win it.
4th and 8. The ball at the 19-yard line. DeBerg with pressure coming over the middle. Page has him, but he's way short of the 1st down. The Steelers hold.
Now, the clock is running, and this clock should not be running because it's a change of possession. They're going to have to put... Right now, I mean, it's still running. It was at 32 seconds, I believe, and they just stopped it at 17. They've got to go back and change that clock. It's at 2:17, but at 2:32.
No doubt. They let it run.
They're checking it out now. They're looking. Hometown clock guy. What a great game.
You don't think they brought him in?
Here he goes. Watch this. Go, Dooley. Get one right.
Clock operator, please reset to 2:24.
No. It's supposed to be 2:32. Now watch. He'll look at the clock right now, Marty.
He sees the clock moving.
See it? Wait a minute. Stop the clock. Still wasn't there. Look, you could tell. And I'm going to tell you something. It was down to 17. That's not 7 seconds.
1st and 10 for the Steelers. The ball at their own 14-yard line. Hodge, Carter in the backfield. Williams, the starting tailback today, injured a little bit earlier. Hodge up to the 15, and that is it. A gain of a yard in Kansas City. Stop the clock. They'll also get stoppage of play with a 2-minute warning.
I don't understand why Pittsburgh ran the ball, because the clock started again as soon as they got out of the huddle and they started the clock. And all Brister and the Pittsburgh Steelers had to do was run it down to the 2-minute warning.
They went early with the play. And it may pay off in the long run for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I may be wrong, but I don't believe in a change of possession that clock should start until you snap the ball. So they started the clock again at 24 before Brister even snapped the ball.
And it doesn't start until the snap.
Exactly. It goes on to snap. So they lost another 7 seconds.
And then you couple that with the 8 seconds they lost when it should have been stopped at 2:32. That's 15 seconds.
These guys better go back and read their manuals.
Bubby Brister hobbles his way back onto the field. Some kind of performance today by both quarterbacks.
Oh, you're not kidding. You know, it's really good to see Brister in there, and he's taking some shots, and he stayed with it. Thank God for the knee brace.
2nd and 9. The ball at the 15-yard line of Pittsburgh. Brister is going to throw. Moving the pocket. He's hit. He'll be down. Back inside the 10. At about the 7-yard line. Neil Smith, the first one in there.
Look at this thing at 2:09, Joel. If they had another timeout, they could have used it now. This clock will start once they get everything set and go down to the 2 minutes. But they could have taken another timeout, make them run 3rd down into the 2 minutes, and still would have had one more timeout in order to finish the game.
Chiefs are out of timeouts. The Steelers still have 2 remaining. We have reached the 2-minute warning at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. Be right back to see what the Steelers do on 3rd and 17. Welcome back to Pittsburgh. I'm Joel Meyers along with Paul Maguire. We are ready for a final 2 minutes. And there's a snap with the Pittsburgh Steelers taking a snap earlier with the clock at 2:27. With the clock moving, they did not have to take this snap. They still had a lot of time on the play clock.
Yeah, but actually the clock should have never started.
Right.
In the first place.
On the change of possession.
That's why Pittsburgh didn't sit on the ball. The officials blew it there. Tagliabue's going to get some letters in his first week, isn't he?
Now, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you don't want to stop the clock. You're looking at 3rd and 17, but if you can get a completion for a first down, you essentially can put the game away.
But you have a very, very good punter in Harry Newsom, I'm telling you. Don't be surprised if they throw the ball.
If they run it, they can get another 40 to 45 seconds at least off the clock.
Out of the shotgun, shovel pass, baby.
Hodge is back there with Carter. Flanking Bubby Brister. The inside give to Carter. Up the middle he goes across the 10. Now the Chiefs have to get up in a hurry so they can reset the ball. 4th down, Harry Newsom on the field. They'll punt it away after that short gain by Rodney Carter. The Chiefs will get one more crack at it. They've got a pretty good return man downfield waiting for it right now, and Pete Manley. Kansas City, barring a turnover, should get exceptional field position for their final drive.
What are we doing?
There's still 12 seconds left on the play clock. Under 10 now.
I'd let it go down, take a penalty. What difference does it make?
Newsom will take the snap with 2 seconds left on the play clock. And he wobbles out a short one. Manley taking it and fumbling it inside the midfield spot. He wasn't touched. Here he goes inside the 40. Down inside the 35. All the way to the 32-yard line where the Chiefs get it back with 61 seconds left.
We are seeing some mental errors because Manley did not signal fair catch. He just went down with the ball, and no one went over to touch him. Heads up play by Manley. Now he wants out of the game, and that's one of the guys you want in the game.
Favoring that left side, like he took a shot to the left arm.
Here comes now. Watch Manley. Burrows is there, number 34. Now they go right by him. But look at Pittsburgh. They should have been on Manley.
It's at the Steelers 32, and this is the first time today that Kansas City has started a drive in Pittsburgh Steeler territory. DeBerg out of the shotgun with 2 wide receivers to each side. DeBerg finds his receiver. It's complete. Harry, they say, is down right at the first down marker. Now again, they started the clock on a change of possession before it was snapped.
Rod Woodson just made a great play right there, Joel. He was out of the way, but he reached over and touched him while he was on the ground.
It's a first down. 1st and 10 to the 22. DeBerg out of the shotgun again. Looking over the middle. McNair wide open to the 15. Can't get away from the extra defensive back Johnson, who puts him down at the 13-yard line. They've got to hustle up. Only 23 seconds left. DeBerg throws it to the ground, stops the clock with 18 seconds remaining. 18 seconds left, and a 3rd and 2 situation. They don't care about the 2-yard. They're going to be looking into the end zone.
With 18 seconds left, if they had some timeouts, you could run about 4 or 5 plays. But I'll tell you another reason, one of the other reasons why I think maybe that they didn't kick the field goal down there too, besides no timeouts and what was happening, is remember now if they kicked the field goal, their kickoff team, they were just kicking the ball and giving it to Pittsburgh on a 35, and they wouldn't kick it to Woodson.
Goes back to that lack of confidence of the special teams. 3rd down for DeBerg at the 13. DeBerg had his receiver fall down, and that was Clarence Weathers. So it boils down to a 4th down with 13 seconds remaining, and the Chiefs trailing by 6.
The problem is you can't run for the 2 yards because you have no timeouts. I mean, this is it.
Marty Schottenheimer with a 6-game winning streak against Chuck Noll and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw a little short dinky out to get the 2 yards, a safe play, because Pittsburgh will be back into the end zone. Get the 2 yards, you're going to waste 3 or 4 seconds.
2 wide receivers to each side. DeBerg looking into the end zone, going up, and it's overthrown. Looking for Stephon Page. Woodruff defending, and that'll do it with 8 seconds left. No flags on the play, and the Steelers begin to celebrate.
If DeBerg would have thrown this ball to Stephon Page, I'll tell you when. Right now, he's got him for a touchdown, but he had to wait on it. Watch this, and it gave Woodruff time to get in there and make the play.
If he throws it to the inside instead of the outside, you still like your chances with Stephon Page.
No question
Threw it
about
behind him, though. Marty Schottenheimer on the play.
Everybody's looking for a flag. Young man, you played a great ball game.
You'd have to think they'd approach things a bit differently, too, if they would have had that extra 15 to 20 seconds.
No question about it.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers, as Bubby Brister throws it into the stands at Three River Stadium, even their record at 4-4 on the season. While the Kansas City Chiefs fall to 3-5. You can see Schottenheimer waving across the field to Chuck Noll. 2 that have gone at it a good number of times.
Smile, Chuck. Brister's happy. What a ball
And shaking
game.
the hand of the young man he got into it with earlier in the first half, Derek Thomas, the rookie from Alabama.
He got in a fight with him, and he got knocked out of bounds by him. But that's all in the context of the ball game, Joel.
We know what he's like because we've met with Bubby Brister. He's a class act all the way. Pittsburgh wins by 6 in a tight one at Three Rivers.